Insurance, Steeda is your answer. Don't race another lap without being covered. Get info now at Steeda.com or call 1-800-378-4608.
It's time to make some noise for the Ruts and Guts Thrill Ride of the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship.
They have big hearts and a whole lot of horsepower, brave souls, and the will to win. They are the local heroes, and they live for the sound of thunder.
When the post office was first built here, it was known as Blackjack. A few years later, named after a local resident, and it became Sumner, Illinois. And that is where the United States Auto Club is this weekend for not one but two nights of action here in the Illinois State Sprint Car Championship. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's presentation of the United States Auto Club featuring the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship, paired this weekend with the Midwest Thunder 410 Sprint Series. And it's setting up to be a pretty solid weekend of racing.
Yeah, it certainly is, Brian. You talk about Sumner, Illinois, and the great history it has, but the racetrack, too, it's had a spotted history over the years, lay dormant for a long time. So to see them get not one, but 2 days of USAC National Sprint Car Racing, not to mention the big payday that awaits the winner on Saturday night, I think this is great. And the town has responded. They've had flags up all week. It was certainly cool rolling into Sumner, Illinois earlier today to see the fanfare surrounding this great event already.
Always neat to roll in. It's always a small town vibe in the Midwest, and out of the soybean fields and the cornfields, there lies a dirt track. And usually where you go where maybe she needs an extra coat of paint and the cell signal isn't very good, that's where the racing's the best. That's exactly what we have here this weekend. And drivers coming in, like I said, paired with the Midwest 410 series. So you'll see a couple of drivers that don't normally run in USAC competition. One of those we saw last year, but previous to that, had only run a few times. And of course, he goes more by Rooster than his real name.
Yeah, I actually had to sit back and think of what Rooster's real name is, and that's Kent Schmidt. Of course, he spent the last several years wrenching on cars up and down the Midwest. This year has worked closely with Troy Carey, Logan Calderwood, the likes of those drivers too, but finally gets the chance to race. He was going to race back on Memorial Day weekend down at the Tri-State Speedway, got rained out, so it's also a short drive up the road for him from where he is based out of. A very, very short drive, we'll add. So he was very excited to get here to Red Hill Raceway. He's never raced here despite living here for most of his life, so I know he's excited. They've got a lot of cool stuff on that race car tonight.
That was interesting to find out, is the fact that he hasn't raced here. So always a great looking car anytime he shows up. We had a chance to look at that, and of course we'll have a chance to talk to him about that. Let's hear what Rooster had to say.
Ken Schmidt, better known as Rooster around the USAC pit area, returns to the seat of a non-wing sprint car here this evening. And Kent, the last handful of years, actually probably longer than that, has been wrenching on all sorts of non-wing sprint cars. This year even he's been helping out with Troy Carey and a few others along the way. And Kent, last time you raced was last year, but before that it had been several years. So what's bringing you back to the seat tonight?
I just wanted to shake down a new car and have a little fun, man. Come over and turn some circles. I've drove by this racetrack for 20 years. And it said, like empty and dormant, and it finally opened back up, and thought it'd be fine time to come over and have a little fun.
Absolutely. And one thing I want to talk to you about this race car is the carbon on this race car. It's not your typical carbon, so tell us a little bit more about it.
So JB at Vision One does all of our body work for our FloRacing chassis. It was actually his supplier had some extra and sent him some samples, and we were checking it out. It's made. They were using it on Tesla semis, if I understand it correctly. So it's a little bit of a Tesla project, but I thought it was cool looking, so we made a race car body out of it.
It's certainly beautiful, no question about that. And like I said, being out of the seat for a while, but you got some good help tonight. We talked about Logan Calderwood, unfortunately out with injury. He was helping Charles Davis Jr. out last weekend at Knoxville, but he's helping on your car tonight. It's a pretty small crew you've got here on the 5K this evening. So just talk about how valuable it is to have somebody like Logan, somebody you've helped in the past, but also a race car driver that understands the language you're speaking.
Yeah, we're kind of a hectic crowd back here. He's injured, so I asked him last night if he could just ride the four-wheeler and keep me going, and then you got Charles and the gang here, and then Troy Carey and the gang over there. So DJ and me are both here tonight. So we'll get something jiving. Surely. You give us enough time and some wrenches, we can make something happen.
It takes a village and maybe a few race teams to get the 5K out on track tonight, but good to see Rooster back in the field with the USAC National Sprint Car Series for the first time in a long time.
Good to see Schmidt back in a car, and of course, good to see him out here this weekend. Another driver you had a chance to talk to, and I had a chance to interview him in Knoxville as well and talk about how his season's going and his outlook on the next few weeks. That's Cale Coons, and right now, He is the leading passing master. Of course, there's also a bonus one courtesy of Parallax this weekend. There'll be another one during Midget Week. There'll be another one during Eastern Storm. But the season overall, that $2,500 bonus right now, he leads that in his rookie season with USAC National Sprint Cars.
Yeah, and I know there's a lot of drivers that don't necessarily like having that award because that means you probably didn't qualify good, so you start in the back, but that means you also pass a lot of cars, and Cale's certainly one that wouldn't mind the extra money, but it's not really a fan of having the lead of that series so far. But he's put together a great rookie season, Brian. And like you said, this is a very tough time of the year for any race car driver, no matter how inexperienced or experienced you are in the series, because we've got Eastern Storm coming up and we've got Indiana Sprint Week looming large and a lot of other big events on the calendar. And so far, I feel like Cale's really handled himself well this season, just tied his season best finish of 6th a week ago at the Knoxville Raceway, and he was 7th here in April, so they know they have good speed at this place.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he does tonight. Like you said, rolling into the rest of the season as it really starts to pick up between all 3 divisions. There's only, I think, about 11 days this month that we're not at a racetrack, and most of those are with the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship. But right now, let's go ahead and get to what Cale had to say earlier.
Coming into the doubleheader weekend here at the Red Hill Raceway, Cale Coons not only the leading rookie in USAC National Sprint Car Championship points, but he currently leads the Parallax Passing Master Award for 2026 as it stands with 49 cars passed. And Cale, a busy time of year, so there's a good chance you could extend that. And I know some drivers say that's not really the award they want to be leading, but for a young driver like yourself, still learning the ropes of USAC National Sprint Car Racing, what does that say about the year you guys have had so far?
Well, I think it kind of says I can't qualify very well. Yeah, I kind of just going to these new tracks. It's different, learning curve for sure. And yeah, I haven't been qualifying great, but definitely getting better at it. I feel like just getting more comfortable. Haven't really ever qualified single car, and it's definitely different. You know, like qualifying group all the time, and you get to follow somebody, and now it's by myself, and I have nobody to look off of in front of me. So yeah, it's cool. Looking forward to the rest of the season, and not running the midget. I think the midget's part of the passing master too, so not really running the midget much. But yeah, we'll see if we can keep that passing master going.
You talk about struggling in single car qualifying. Well, tonight we're running the Midwest Thunder 410 format, which includes group qualifying. Do you feel like that could play into your strengths a little bit more from a qualifying aspect?
I'm not really sure. You know, all these guys group qualifying or qualifying by themselves are fast every time they're out on the racetrack. So. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be cool to qualify in a group with USAC guys, just see kind of how it goes, and kind of base my pace off somebody else like Cummins or Grant or, you know, guys that qualify well every week.
You tied your season best finish last weekend at the Knoxville Raceway during the Corn Belt Clash with a 6th place run. And you look at your big track results, Volusia stands out to me too. You got a top 10 out there. Red Hill here, you were 7th in April. What is it about these bigger, faster racetracks that just suit your driving style in a sprint car?
I don't know. I just like fast tracks. I feel like they're more fun than, you know, short bull rings that get to stand on the gas a little bit harder. And yeah, everything's a little bit slowed down, I feel like, even though you're going faster, and it's just kind of more my style.
Cale Coons, well, he's shown up to a track that's definitely his style here tonight, the Red Hill Raceway. Once again, the Parallax Passing Master headed into this weekend here at Red Hill.
Thank you very much, Drake. We are just about ready to get into our dirt draft hot laps as the horn sounding down to the pit area, letting teams know that they need to make their way into the staging lanes. A little bit of track prep finishing up here as we roll into night number 1 of 2 of the Illinois Sprint Car State Championship here at Red Hill. Speaking of dirt draft hot laps, don't forget, they've changed it up a little bit this year. If you have not played along, they have different leagues you can contend in now. You have the Pro League, which locks in a qualifying, the Veteran League, which locks in a heat race number 1, and the Rookie League, which locks in the A feature. Dirt Draft also now with predictive contests. You have things like, will so-and-so qualify in the top 3 or the top 5? Will this driver finish this position in the A main? All the great different new options you have. Download the app today, and every new subscriber and reactivating subscriber receives a 25% off gift card to the Hoosier Tire online merchandise store. As always, we'll have our Driver v. Driver and Drake York with an update on that.
Indeed, we do have driver v driver matchup once again here with the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship tonight. Jaden Rogers will face off against Briggs Danner. Briggs was able to get the win at our most recent competition out at the Knoxville Raceway. We'll start off with Jaden Rogers. He's on the left-hand side of your screen at USAC Driver 1. And Brian, you talked about the different lobbies. These USAC drivers are entered in the pro lobby. So if you want to play against Jaden Rogers and Briggs Danner tonight in Dirt Draft, you got to enter in on that pro lobby. Back to Jaden Rogers' lineup, he has Justin Grant, Hayden Reinbold, himself, Charles Davis Jr., and David Gasper. And for those of you fans that may not be familiar with Jaden Rogers' game here at Red Hill Raceway, he's a sneaky bet. I'm sure a lot of people will have him on their dirt draft this evening. Briggs on the right-hand side of your screen at USAC Driver 2 has chosen himself, Robert Ballou, Jaden Rogers, Charles Davis Jr., and Colin Jackson. Once again, Briggs at USAC Driver 2. And Brian, you also brought up those predictive contests. Briggs Danner is actually a part of the predictive contest, and I believe the stat line for him is, will he qualify inside the top 5? I shot Briggs a quick text about it, and he said, yes, I will qualify in the top 5. So it's interesting, too, not only when we get our drivers to play in the pro lobby with our friends at Dirt Draft, but also be a part of those new and amazing predictive contests from our friends at Dirt Draft.
Thank you very much. Don't forget to play along. Of course, a very busy part of the 2026 schedule getting ready to take off, and it all begins this weekend, again with 2 nights here at Red Hill. Sunday, the big cars are back on track. We head to Worldwide Technology Raceway, and that is all a part of the same ticket that gets you the NTT IndyCar Series for the Bommarito 500 as well. So that is definitely one. If you have a chance to make it down on Sunday, we hope you can attend. And then we kick off Indiana Midget Week. Circle City on Tuesday, Paragon on Wednesday, Lincoln Park on Thursday, Bloomington on Friday, Tri-State on Saturday, and it all ends up at Kokomo on Sunday, June 14th. Monday off, and then we go Tuesday through Sunday again with Yokohama Tire Eastern Storm. And thanks to Yokohama Tire, a $24,000 point fund up for grabs for the drivers of the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship. Yokohama doesn't just make tires, they make history. They've been dedicated to advancing tire design and development since 1917. Check out yokohamatire.com for more information. Grandview kicking off Eastern Storm. Yokohama Eastern Storm presented by Levan Machine and Truck Equipment. Bridgeport on the 17th, Big Diamond on the 18th, Williams Grove on the 19th, a USAC double at Port Royal. We're talking sprint cars and Silver Crown. That'll be on June 20th, and it all ends up at Action Track USA on June 21st. Of course, if you can't be there live, you can see it all on FloRacing. Tonight's broadcast also available on Amazon Prime. That's a really neat partnership that has come about between Flo and Amazon Prime. And it's no extra charge if you want to watch on Amazon Prime as well. And what that is, that's a way for FloRacing to really highlight and get as many different tracks and series out to the public to get eyes on the sport and be able to really expand that footprint. I know last night they had the Dirt Late Model Dream on. Tonight right here at Red Hill going forward. Sunday, tentatively, Worldwide Technology Race with a Silver Crown portion set to be on Amazon Prime as well as FloRacing as well. If you want to find out what is coming up, just get on the Amazon Prime app and search for FloRacing. And you'll have the next few events that are coming up, both on the replay side of the Flow 24/7 and also on live events. So I want to welcome everybody who is watching on Flow as well as on their Amazon Prime app. AMSOIL is the title sponsor of the USAC Sprint Car National Championship. The AMSOIL Shop by Vehicle tool at AMSOIL.com takes the guesswork into picking the right oil and filter combination for your vehicle. Choose the right product and packaging option and enjoy fast, free delivery right to your door. Visit AMSOIL.com to learn more. Make sure you swing by the all-new USAC merchandise trailer and sign up to be tonight's AMSOIL Inside the Oval winner. If your name is picked, you win a guest of your choice, receive a prize pack, a ride to the pace truck, and the opportunity of a lifetime to watch tonight's USAC Sprint Car feature event from the infield. Again, make sure and swing out to Merchandise Row. Stop by the USAC merchandise trailer and get signed up. We will announce that winner following heat races. High-performance racing demands high-performance energy with NOS Energy, fueling USAC's fastest drivers and fans all season long. Grab yours at the NOS Energy sampling booth and get after it. They're located right outside the main entrance. Also, when you roll into a USAC national event, don't forget to bring your scanner, as USAC national events are broadcast in the grandstands at frequency 454.5000. All the audio that goes on FloRacing is broadcast out to the grandstands. If you'd like to get a scanner of your own, go to racingelectronics.com or call 1-800-272-7111. Cookout presents always fresh, never frozen burgers, barbecue, and hot dogs, all cooked fresh every day. And get this, over 40 different flavors of shakes, all prepared fresh and made by hand every day. It's all yours. To find a Cookout location near you, go to cookout.com. Check of the point standings coming into this weekend's racing action, as, again, in the month of June, between all three USAC National Circle Track Touring divisions, there's only about 11 days we're not going to be at a racetrack between Silver Crown Sprint Car and Midget competition. But Kyle Cummins, your defending champion, leads the way. 1,195 points earned so far this season. Justin Grant currently sitting in second. Mitchell Moles holding down the third spot. Briggs Danner in fourth. Logan Seavey in fifth. Jake Swanson in sixth. Kevin Thomas Jr. in seventh. Chase Stonkin, C.J. Leary, and Robert Ballou currently make up the top 10. Of course, you can see the entire rundown of points when you go to USACRacing.com. To follow along with everything throughout this weekend's racing action, of course, USACRacing.com is where you go for all the official news, notes, points, and updates. You can also find us on social media. You can find us on Facebook by searching for USAC Racing, on X and Instagram at USAC Nation. A reminder, if it's on social media, it is unofficial. Another great way to follow along is with the My Race Pass app. Free to download in both the Apple and Android markets. Lineups, results, rosters, stats, it is all right there in the palm of your hand. But when you do get the premium membership, that does include live timing and scoring. So again, check that out today. That is the My Race Pass app. A little bit of bonus money up for grab this weekend. The Parallax Group putting up an extra $200 this weekend to the driver who advances the most positions throughout this weekend and every time the drivers hit the track. Now, overall in the season, $2,500 awarded at the end during the USAC National Awards Banquet. And Cale Coons right now is the passing master on the season. That is in a feature competition, advancing 49 times so far this year. Hayden Reinbold at 43, Briggs Danner at 42. Logan Calderwood, unfortunately, out with a leg injury, holding down the 4th spot. Chase Stock in your top 5. Then it's Bacon, Kevin Thomas Jr., Baloo Grant, and Shelby Hinton, who unfortunately is out for the rest of the season. Again, I want to thank Parallax Group for offering up the $2,500 bonus at the end of the season. And throughout the season, they'll offer up $200 for a couple of days, $500 for a week-long run. So definitely a big thank you to the Parallax Group for giving back to our racers. So crews continuing to massage and work the racing surface here. So the tiller working down the back straightway. Comes some of the push vehicles as well. While they continue to work on the racetrack, we're going to step away here on the broadcast. We'll be back to Red Hill. Bring it on. The second week of June in the Hoosier State is reserved for the biggest slate of USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship racing action on the planet. The 22nd annual edition of the USAC Indiana Midget Week consists of high-intensity action at 6 dirt tracks across 6 consecutive nights, June 9th through the 14th. It all starts Tuesday at Circle City before continuing on to Paragon on Wednesday and Lincoln Park on Thursday. It all winds up with a final weekend stretch in Bloomington on Friday, Tri-State on Saturday, while Kokomo serves as the finale on Sunday. USAC Indiana Midget Week is the hottest ticket in town, with sprint cars also serving as a support class each and every night, June 9th through the 14th. Check out USACRacing.com for all the details, and we'll see you at the racetrack.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence. Order online at amsoil.com.
At Lucas Oil Center, we keep you moving with confidence. We've upgraded everything: faster oil changes, a thorough 21-point inspection, expert AC service, and preventative maintenance that keeps your car road ready. And now enjoy easier access to our signature Nitro Wash, so your ride shines bright all year long.
Looking for great service, a wide variety of Lucas Oil products, and racing oils, or looking for a location near you, contact us at lucasoilcenter.com.
Lucas Oil Center, service that goes the extra mile.
Hey, are you caught in the tariff trap, rising costs, and unpredictable delays? Well, it's time to reshore, reclaim, and reinvent with Parallax Group Incorporated. With over 30 years of expertise, we deliver high-quality assembly and manufacturing solutions right here in North America. Our strategically located facility near the U.S. border ensures faster distribution and reduced logistics costs. Experience efficiency, control, and excellence in every product. Parallax Group Incorporated, quality assembly processes in North America.
Up your ride with True Brand Fuel Joules, the only time-release fuel treatment on the market. Fuel Joules cleans and lubricates while restoring power and performance, and its patented time-release formula increases fuel economy by up to 7%, saving you money at the pump, tank full after tank full. Plus, Fuel Joules races for a cause. We partner with the National Breast Cancer Foundation to fund life-saving early detection screenings for women in need. Visit TrueBrandProducts.com to get your bottle today.
Welcome back to the broadcast here on FloRacing, as well as the Amazon Prime app this evening. Again, night number 1 of 2 here at Red Hill Raceway, the Illinois Sprint Car State Championship. This weekend also paired with the Midwest Thunder 410 Sprint Cars. So that will break up the format a little bit. Tonight we'll actually run under the Midwest format. So instead of bringing cars out 2 at a time to qualify and qualifying against the field, it'll be group qualifying by their heat race. So group number 1 to heat race number 1, group 2 to heat race number 2, and so on. 23 drivers on hand here this evening, so everybody will lock into the feature event. 4-car inversion into the heat races. Top 2 are eligible for the invert draw into the feature event. So a little different format here tonight, so that means it will be a show-up points event for USAC national drivers and teams. 50 points awarded to everybody who has checked in. Tomorrow, the USAC format will be back in play. We'll have 2 cars at a time coming out to qualify. And again, that qualifying effort setting the heat race lineup as well as following you throughout the course of the night's events. That'll be tomorrow tonight under that Midwest 410 format. Last time we were in town back in April, Mitchell Moles setting a new track record, taking it away from his teammate Hayden Reinbold, who set it in June 13th of last year at a 15.009. Mitchell Moles coming out with a 14.327, 94.227 average miles per hour. Again, that was back here on April 3rd. So track crews starting to feel a little bit happier with the racing surface here. We'll see if the water truck goes ahead and makes its way down into the infield. Drake York waiting down in the infield. Drake, the last time we were here, it was quite the barn burner at the front of the field. One of the storylines that emerged after we left was the fact that Robert Ballou actually had an injury on his arm, but was still able to come out and compete. And oh, by the way, led laps the last time we were here.
Yeah, Brian, that was so impressive by the Madman. And you mentioned it right there, that injury he had. We actually didn't know going into that race he had that injury. He kept it pretty well under wraps. I believe that happened just a few days prior to our stop here back in the month of April. And Robert doing a fantastic job. Looked like he was going to break that winless streak. Remember, he hasn't won since Indiana Sprint Week last year. And Robert's somebody we always expect to be at the front of the field. And he's had good speed this year at points. But you look at, kind of the last few races, I think this could be a really big night for Robert and the Robert Ballou Motorsports team to kind of get back to even foot and get back to where they're used to. And talking to Robert earlier today, I was kind of giving him a hard time. I said, well, tonight should be easier because you got a few less stitches in your left arm. And he said, too, one thing that really stood out to me, he was really monitoring the weather. It's been pretty sunny here all day. I don't even think we've had hardly any clouds. I think this is about the most clouds that we've had outside so far, and the wind bearing down the racetrack too. That's why you're seeing the track crew go out here and just put a little bit more water into the surface of this racetrack, just because it's been so sunny and windy today. But yeah, Robert Ballou was easily one of the best stories to come out of the month of April here at Red Hill Raceway.
Definitely so. And, you talk about the wind. It looked like, if you look at the hourly forecast, it was going to lay down a little bit sooner. Not the case. It's not necessarily like a gale force wind, just kind of breezy, but thankfully it's blowing, if there is any dust, away from the grandstands.
Yeah, there's already a really good crowd forming here in the grandstands at Red Hill Raceway, and I'm sure they're happy to see that wind going their way, too. And it's certainly been a nice day, too. I feel like the 2 times that USAC has been here in the last 2 years, including the race back in April, we've had some cold conditions. If you remember back to around this time last year, we had a lot of rain affect this race, and certainly pushed the schedule back a little further than race organizers wanted to. But we could not be treated to a more perfect day right now. We're early stages of June, and it's starting to feel like June, right, Brian? Because some of the races we went to, even throughout the month of May, were a little bit chilly and a little bit wetter than we would like them to be. So super nice to get out here to Sumner, Illinois. Of course, we talked about in the pre-race show, kind of out in the fields a little bit, but it's really a hidden gem of dirt track racing, and it's starting to really get more attention on the national stage. Certainly thanks to the USAC national races here, and even though the 2 have been somewhat weather affected, we've had 2 great races here.
We really have, and this is a track that has been around for 30 years, but has not been in competition for those 30 years. Sat dormant for a while, thankfully able to come back. And every time we come in, there's another improvement, there's another little upgrade, there's another thing that's been fixed on this facility to try to get it back and get it where it really needs to be. So really a tip of the cap to the ownership and the management of this racetrack, who continue to try and make it better and better.
Yeah, Brian, you're certainly right. Even since we were here in April, I feel like I noticed a few different things around the property, and it's not like they just get set up for the start of the season and then just say, hey, we're going to phone it in for the rest of the season. No, this place is even more spick and span, I would argue, than when we were here. Certainly last year, and even when you go back to the month of April when we were here with the USAC National Sprint Car Championship. So the promotion team doing an amazing job here at Red Hill Raceway. And the thing that I want to touch on that you talked about there, Brian, this racetrack sat dormant for so long. It's not just easy to bring any racetrack from the dead, and they've done a fantastic job here at Red Hill Raceway. They've had wing sprint cars, obviously non-wing sprint cars, not only with the USAC National Championship, but with the Midwest Thunder 410s. They've had some pretty big late model and modified shows roll through here, and I just feel like every single time I watch a race from Red Hill Raceway, just gets that little bit better and better.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Drake. Looks like track prep getting ready to wrap up here. We'll see. I believe they are starting to try to call for the water truck to make its way down into the infield and clear the racing surface. th round of competition of the 2026 season for the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship. As the track goes into yellow flag conditions, that means drivers will begin to push out from the pit area. Coming into tonight, Kyle Cummins leads at 4 wins this year. Terre Haute, Bloomington, Eldora, and most recently, his first career victory at the Knoxville Raceway, night number 1 of the Avanti Windows and Doors Corn Belt Clash. Justin Grant, Logan Seavey, Mitchell Moles, Briggs Danner, and Brady Bacon, all with a pair of wins so far this year. Grant, your winner the last time we were here back in April. Previous to that, Ocala on the final night of competition. Volusia, Ocala for Logan Seavey, Tri-State and Terre Haute for Mitchell Moles, Lawrenceburg and Circle City for Briggs Danner. Brady Bacon, the champion of the Avanti Windows and Doors Corn Belt Clash, getting that win this past Saturday. Prior to that, it was a win at Eldora during Let's Race 2. Chase Stockin, Jake Swanson, and Trey Osborne all getting wins back in the state of Florida during Winter Dirt Games presented by Yokohama Tire. Drivers start to make their way out. They'll give the track just a couple of laps here, make sure everything has a good feel before they let her rip for Dirt Draft Hot Laps. First driver to tell you about on screen is out of Coleman, Alabama, the Majestic Electric Inland Rigging Bird racer number 3R. That is Kevin Thomas Jr. Kevin Thomas Jr. in the 3. Driver rolling in behind him, that's going to be Jake Swanson out of Anaheim, California. The inland ranking, Darty Motorsports, one-way DRC chassis. Damien Swanson with Darty Motorsports number 5T. And the team giving a big tip of the cap and a thank you to DRC as they were able to not only salvage but rebuild the driver or the car that got upside down in Knoxville, and they actually could have had that car ready to go minus a couple of parts, unfortunately, so they will hold that car back, and that is the car they have set for Eastern Storm as he makes his way through turns 3 and 4. Let's check in with Drake.
Brian, one thing to note about tonight, it is the Midwest Thunder 410 Sprint Car format. So what does that mean particularly for qualifying? It's group qualifying, and they go out by their heat race. And one thing that we talked to Cale Coons about earlier today in our pre-race show, the difference between going out by yourself and in a group is very, very different. I know several drivers that have told me over the years that it's so much easier for them personally. Now, every race car driver is different, but a lot of drivers find it personally easier to go out in group qualifying compared to single car qualifying. It's a USAC national race, so we kind of have an idea who the front runners are going to be. There's no question about that, but I'm going to be interested to see if having it being group qualifying tonight really shakes up the order. We'll have to wait and see.
Certainly, thank you very much. Next driver to tell you about is Kent Schmidt. He's out of Owensville, Indiana, driver of the P1 Australia Performance. Stanton FloRacing, King Racing Products, Davis Brothers, number 5K. Makes his way down the back straightaway. Next driver in line behind him is going to be Chase Stockin. Stockin out of Fort Branch, Indiana. The England Machine and Toolkits or DRC Moments by Morgan Lucas Oil Center Brown Brothers Excavating, number 92. The 24X out to the Speedway out of Greenfield, Indiana. Driver the TJD Roofing and Exteriors, Megacorp Logistics, One-Way Power, DRC, Tony Kinzer Body Shop, Indiana Metals, number 24X. The Hunter Maddox own entry tonight. CJ Leary behind the wheel of the number 24. This race not on the schedule for the Fox Brothers number 53, so back behind the wheel of a Hunter Maddox owned number 24. Driver who has gone to victory lane several times here at Red Hill outside of USAC competition. He's out of Worthington, Indiana. Driver the Beasley Railcar Repair, American Dream Racing, Parallax Motorsports Spec, DRC number 14. That is Jaden Rogers. Rogers in the 14. The 45 in at Tillamore, New South Wales, Australia, making his way through turns 1 and 2. Driver the Skyline Building, Claxton Ripper chassis number 45 in. That is Troy Carey. Troy Carey in the 45. Turns 1 and 2, Michael Clark out of Brazil, Indiana, the Freedom Roofing, Durabuilt Performance, Clay County Collision number 8 machine. Out onto the Speedway. So dirt draft hot laps combining with Learn Lab qualifying. Again, a different format utilized tonight as we are co-sanctioned with the Midwest 410 series. So tonight we'll run under their format. Tomorrow we go back to USAC National format. $3P of Kyle Cummins, the Avante Doors Petty Performance, Premier Recycling number 3P, makes his way to the exit at turn number 2. Learn Lab is a maker of award-winning hands-on industrial training skills, job skills training systems using curriculum, classroom tools, and rugged hands-on training panels. Learn Lab teaches the necessary skills with real tools and components to help schools, colleges, and companies train their people to simply be better at what they do. Check out learnlab.com for more information. So drivers getting word over the receiver to start to spread out, give themselves a little bit of room, and we're getting ready to go here in Learn Lab qualifying group number 1. Lap to warm up, 3 laps on the clock. Jake Swanson in the 5, going to streak her onto the back straightway. Again, 2 wins on the season. USAC National score of Volusia. Paragon in the No Way Out 40 back in March. He was 6 here back in April. As times start coming in, Jaden Rogers, 15.697. Quick update, getting a little ahead of myself here. That was a quick hot lap session, letting drivers kind of assess the racetrack. We'll have qualifying coming up here in just a moment, but Jake Swanson right now is the quickest driver on track with a 15.469. So again, apologies getting a little ahead of myself there, giving the drivers a chance to test out the racetrack before we go into Learn Lab qualifying. So out of the hot lap session, Jake Swanson, 15.469. Jaden Rogers, 15.640. Kent Schmidt, a 15.948. Kevin Thomas Jr., 15.980. And CJ Leary was fifth quick at 15.985. Now, once they go back to green, this will be 4 lineups in the heat races. As we explained earlier, it's a 4-car invert in each one of the heat races. Top 2 in each heat race will qualify for the invert draw for the main event lineup. B-Mods as well as Dirt Car UMP Modifieds also on the card here this evening. Dirt Car UMP Modifieds numbering 10. They'll have a pair of heat races. They will qualify during their hot lap session, and it will be straight up against the field. B-Mods numbering at 13. Likewise, they will qualify during their hot lap session, and again, they will qualify against the field. So they'll count them down from 3. Everybody going to find the throttle, and we'll get them warmed up and back underway. Yeah, Learn Lab qualifying group number 1. Here comes the rooster. Kent Schmidt goes to the top of the boards for a moment. 15.3. Cal Cummins going to come around with a 14.973. So quickly down to the 14-second bracket. Problems for the 5T. Jake Swanson, the car rolling slow to the front straightaway. He is down out of the racing groove. White flag is in the air. Coming around to complete lap number 3 as Swanson able to turn it down to the entrance of the infield. Kevin Thomas Jr. now goes to the top of the speed charts at a 14.654. We'll see if he holds on to that as he makes his way to the checkered flag exit turn number 4. Him and Cummins coming around, one in front of the other, and it is Kevin Thomas Jr. Lap number 2 will be his best attempt at a 14.654. Cal Cummins, 14.691. CJ Leary, 14.730. Jaden Rogers, those 4 drivers will invert in the heat race lineup. Rogers 4th quick at a 14.945. Troy Carey was 5th quick at a 15.306. Kent Schmidt a 15.345. Michael Clark, Jake Swanson, and that will round up the drivers for Learn Lab qualifying group at number 1. Again, the track record established back in April. Mitchell Moles a 14.327. 94.227 miles per hour. 14.654 right now, the quickest time on track. So group number 1 making their way down into the infield. Learn Lab qualifying group at number 2, coupled with Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Out to the speedway, the 19 of Hayden Reinbold has made his way out. He rolls to the back straightway to Gilbert, Arizona. The AME Electrical Reinbold Development Incorporated, CFLA Transportation, number 19. Driver in 12 over in turns 1 and 2 at Rockland, California. The Suburban Subaru, Deaton's Waterfront Services, Don on DRC, Berks Western Telecom, number 12. That is the Madman, Robert Ballou. 77S of David Gasper out of Santa Barbara, California. The Simply Birdhouse, TSR Clay CSI Freeland Power, number 77S, rolls down the far side of the speedway. The 76J, first time we've seen him this season out of Jasper, Indiana. The R. Keith Rooney Dentistry, Williams Precision Power, Triple X, TRP Transmission, Klotz Lubricants, DJ Safety, number 76J. That is J.J. Hughes. Logan Seavey exiting onto the back straightaway. The Mount Mechanical Contractors Drop Line. 80 Power Sports, CGCPA, Stanton DRC, number 57. Winner here back in 2025. Last time we were here in April, a 9th place run for the driver, the number 57. Looking over to turn number 2 right now, the 75 Glenn Saville at Razorback, New South Wales, Australia. The Grassmere Performance Services at GPS Chevrolet Twister chassis number 75. Semi-feature and a 25th place finish in his outings at the Knoxville Raceway during the Avante Windows and Doors Corn Belt Clash this past weekend. Charles Davis Jr. also on track, the bright yellow machine over in turn number 1, the MP Environmental Black Magic Bead Breaker, FK Andy Rex's Tattoo and Massage Parlor, Chuck D's Wiener, Central Arizona Raceway, number 47. Again, if you're just joining us on the FloRacing and Amazon Prime broadcast here this evening, Learn Live qualifying group number 2. On the Speedway, Midwest Thunder format tonight, USAC National format tomorrow. So the drivers in action tonight all receiving 50 show-up points. Another driver to tell you about rolls onto the back straightaway. Eric Gentry out of Roberts, Kentucky. The G-Nick Construction Spec DRC Chalk Stick England Machine and Tool. Larry Gentry owned at number 10. So all drivers out to the Speedway and accounted for. Caution lights will go dark. 1 lap to warm up, 3 on the clock. Timing against the groove, but we will have an overall quick qualifier. When all is said and done, drivers through the warm-up lap. Robert Ballou going to set the mark at a 15.334. J.J. Hughes going to come up and take it at a 15.201. Everybody making their way by. Times continuing to roll in. We'll see how everything shakes out. Hayden Reinbold up to second quick, 15.204. He's 3,000 top of the pace. And David Gasper says, thank you very much. I'll take that top spot, 15.114 in the 77. Ballou back to second quick, 15.148. J.J. Hughes third quick. Reinbold, Charles Davis Jr. right now, your fifth quick driver. 2 in, coming around to the checker flag. Does anybody improve on lap number 3? They do. David Gasper. 15.046. Robert Ballou turns his best time on the final trip at a 15.065. J.J. Hughes, 15.188. Hayden Reinbold, 15.20 on lap number 2. As the times update, Gasper, 15.046. Ballou, Charles Davis Jr., Logan Seavey goes to fourth quick at a 15.182. And J.J. Hughes, fifth quick at a 15.188. Hayden Reinbold, Eric Gentry, and Glenn Saville round out your qualifiers in Learn Live qualifying group number 2. Final group of Learn Lab qualifiers begin to make their way out onto the Speedway. Colin Jackson making his USAC National debut out of Evansville, Indiana. The Jackson's Lawn Care, Pure Max Racing Oil, Midwest Auto Services, EMJ Photography. Kalo's Bridge of Hope, number 64C. That driver making his way into turn number 1. Driver who holds the current track record out of Raisin City, California on the back straightaway, the AME Electrical, Mississippi Valley Transportation, Stanton Spike, number 19AZ. The pilot is Mitchell Moles. Steve Thomas, the Illinois racer in the Racing Optics, K1 Race Gear, Hooker Harness, Bell Helmets, Foxco Flea RC chassis number 20, makes his way onto the back straightaway. Exit turn number 2 for Chase Stockton out of Fort Branch, Indiana. The England Machine and Tool Kisser DRC Moments by Morgan Lucas Oil Center. Brown Brothers Excavating, number 92. Driver in 39 is Briggs Danner out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. He's over in turns 1 and 2. The E. Schneider & Sons Recycling, Keystone Cap Boulevard Truck Repair, Ryder DRC chassis number 39. Gail Coons out of Greencastle, Indiana. Exit turn number 2. The Curb Records, Mechanical Advantage, Coletta Charters, Neil Tire, Joe Dooling, Kerbegajanian at DRC Stanton Power, number 63. Winner here back in April, Justin Grant out of Ione, California. He makes his way into the back straightaway. The DOS Energy Drink, Hippie Logistics, Top Industries, G&G Racing Fuels, AMSOIL, Just Gemini Storage, Stanton Maxim, number 4. Again, 23 drivers on hand here this evening for night number 1 of the Illinois State Sprint Car Championship at the Red Hill Raceway with the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship and the Midwest Thunder 410 Series. So everybody on hand tonight will make their way into your 25-lap preliminary feature event. As a line them up, 1 lap to warm up, 3 laps on the clock. Learn lap qualifying group number 3 is underway. Times will start to come in. Briggs Danner, 14.991. He'll set the mark early. Mitchell Moll's going to take it. At a 14.90, and Justin Grant's faster than that at a 14.545. So 1 in, working 2 right now. First lap time still better for Justin Grant, a 14.545. As the field comes around to the way with a checkered flag and Learn Lab qualifying group at number 3. So Justin Grant, quickest time for this group at a 14.545. Chase Stockin, 14.854. Mitchell Moles, 14.90. 14.991 for Briggs Danner. And again, that 4-car inversion of the heat races. Briggs Danner going to go to the pole of heat race number 3. Cale Coons, Steve Thomas, and Colin Jackson round out the field. So out of the 3 groups of Learn Lab qualifying, Justin Grant is your overall quick qualifier at a 14.545 second lap. So victory lane here back in April and not slowing down from that performance. So we'll get Justin down here on the front straightaway here in just a moment. Christy Leary going to get a word with our Learn Lab quick qualifier. 4th time this season, Justin Grant has been your Learn Lab quick qualifier. Ocala, Terre Haute, and Eldora. All sites of quick qualifying runs now add tonight to the mix. Again, modifieds joining the program of both the A and the B variety. Dirt Car UMP Modifieds will be next for their hot lap qualifying session. Again, the field qualifying against the whole, as well as your B mods. If you had the My Race Pass app, you would know who is in the pits for the Modifieds. A quick look at that entry list for the Dirt Car UMP Modifieds. Evan Bradham drawing the lowest pill. Driver out of Olney, Illinois, going to be set to be on track. Wes Harms, the Illinois racer in the 2X, also set to be out in this session. The 744, Justin Jones. Brandon Justice in the 78, the 43A of Larry Anderson. Josh Lemke out of West Salem, Illinois, the 69L. Trevor Jones in the 3. Phil Bible in the 51. Tyler Weiss in the 50. And Derek Patton in the 37W, all set to be on track with your UMP Dirt Car Modifieds. track working on getting the modifieds gathered up. Don't forget, tomorrow we're back in action right here at Red Hill. And, of course, Silver Crown takes to the track on Sunday, Worldwide Technology Raceway. And, again, that is all a part of the NTT IndyCar Series appearance at Worldwide Technology Raceway. So the same ticket gets you Silver Crown, Indy Next, as well as NTT IndyCar and the Bommarito 500. Justin Graham making his way down trackside. Let's go down and get a word with our quick qualifier.
So Justin Graham picking up his 4th Learn Lab Fast Qualifying Award of the 2026 season with the AMSOIL USAC National Sprint Car Series. This one a little bit different, a group qualifying format for a guy who has been so accustomed for so many years to a single car qualifying format with 2 laps clean, all by yourself. What unique set of challenges did this pose for you?
Yeah, three on the clock's a lot. It's hard to hold your breath that long. So it just, a little bit different. We did a little bit of group qualifying back when I started with the USAC, and I always felt like I excelled back then at it. So yeah, kind of just normal deal. Go out and try and make circles as fast as you can and see how it shakes out.
Picked up the win here at Red Hill just barely over a month ago. Is the racetrack feeling pretty similar to you so far?
Yeah, so far pretty similar. Maybe a little slicker in spots than it was then, but yeah, really similar characteristics, and yeah, should be a good race. It might slow up just a little bit than from where it was last time we were here, which is probably promote a little bit better racing anyway. So it should be a good night.
The whole format going to be shaken up just a little bit going forward. We're going to do a redraw for the feature lineup instead of the 6-car invert. How does that change your mindset going forward for the rest of the night?
Yeah, just got to remember I'm USAC national racing, not local racing.
Justin Grant is your winner of Learn Lab qualifying. He's your Learn Lab fast qualifier tonight for night number 1 here at Red Hill Raceway.
Thank you very much. 43rd time in his career he has been your Learn Lab quick qualifier. So let the officials make their way up across the racetrack before we bring our hot lap and qualifying out. For the modifieds, again, Evan Bradman, the 37, Wes Harm in the 2X, Justin Jones in the 744, Brandon Justice in the 78, Larry Anderson in the 43A, Josh Limke in the 69L, Trevor Jones in the 3, Phil Bible in the 51, Tyler Weiss in the 50, and Derek Patton in the 37W. All set to make their way out onto the speedway. Looking at Tyler Weiss's MRP record so far this season, this will be his 4th appearance of the year and a pair of top 5 runs for him. Back at the start of May here at Red Hill, ran 2nd. 3rd place run at the Terre Haute Action Track on May 20th. Unfortunately, problems during the Red Hill Rumble earlier this year. A DNS after a 5th place run in the heat race, so we'll see if he can improve here tonight. Driver in 744, Justin Jones on screen right now. Back here in April, whenever we were in town, an 8th place finish. Unfortunately, it was a DNF. Does have a win. It was in Beamon competition here on May 9th. Won his heat as well as the feature event was a DNS. And Dirt Car UMP Modifieds, his last outing here on May 30th was with the Mars Late Model Series. 4th in the heat, 9th in the feature event. Won the B-Mod heat race and was 2nd in that feature event. It's like Larry Anderson out on the speedway. Getting a look at him down in the number 43A. He was the driver that got the win back here in April when USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Tour was in town. Last outing here on May 30th, a 10th. And Dirt Car UMP Modifieds. Again, that was when the Mars Series was in town. The driver in 2, that's Wes Harms. Going to be looking to do some harm on a qualifying time here. May 30th, his last run here. 15th in modified competition, a 9th, a 19th, and a 15th so far this year. For the driver, the number 2, 78. Making his way through turns 1 and 2. This will be his first outing of the season. Brandon Justice, driver of Evansville, Indiana, making his way through turns 3 and 4. They'll split the modifieds up here. They'll do essentially Group 1A, Group 1B. Larry Anderson, the Clay City, Illinois driver, at the top of the charts. He's the only, he is not the only one in a 17-second lap. Let me rearrange that. He's the only one in a 16-second lap, 16.864. For the driver, the number 43A, Jones ends up second quick at a 17.266. So they'll take the first group of Dirt Car UMP modifieds off of the speedway. Second group going to be making their way on here in just a moment. Second group of cars. Josh Lemke, 69 out onto the speedway. 12th place finish here back on May 30th. Makes his way onto the back straightaway. The 50, Tyler Weiss, Allendale, Illinois driver, has made his way down the front straightaway. He will be followed in by the 3 of Trevor Jones. Second and a third to start the season off for the driver of the number 50 machine. Unfortunately, was a DNS back here on May 30th. Looking at the 3 of Trevor Jones as he makes his way on the back straightaway. April 24th, rather, the Brownstown Bull Ring up in Brownstown, Illinois, kicked off his season with a 12th place run. Victory in stock car competition back here on May 1st. '51 of Phil Bible. Looking to post a page turner here, a 4th and a 17th so far this season here at Red Hill. So right now instructing drivers to roll up and kind of help work the high side of the speedway in here before we set them loose for UMP Dirt Car Modified Qualifying Group 1B. Again, everybody qualifying against the field here in modified competition in both Dirt Car as well as B-Mod competition. Again, 10 drivers on hand for the Dirt Car UMP Modifieds. We'll have a baker's dozen on hand for the B-Mods. We'll see how times start to come across here for the Modifieds. Remember, it was the 43A of Anderson who was quickest in the first group of cars. Couple of the drivers fighting very tight conditions. One of them was the 3 of Trevor Jones. Thought he was going to go up and tag the concrete through turns 1 and 2. Able to get it woed up and get her pointed back in the right direction. Had that thing twisted up on the bars in a big way. We'll see if he has a little bit better run. Nope, this time she's going to turn about as good as a dump truck. Thankfully, though, qualifying is in the book. The 43A will be your quick qualifier. Again, Larry Anderson, the driver to Clay City, Illinois, a 17.249. Looks like B-Mods will also be split in two. Driver in 20. Down the front straightaway. Cody Clark. In his last 10 starts here, he has gone to victory lane a half a dozen times. He has 8 top 5s and 9 top 10 finishes, so he will definitely be one to watch there in the Mullins Auto Parts. Number 20. Driver rolling in behind him. It's like the 5 of Timmy Bouldry. Made his way into turn 1. 4 top 5s and 6 top 10 finishes. Average finish of 8th in his last 10 appearances here. So the 5 of Bouldry is the white machine you see on the back straightaway. The 5M is the black number 5. He's got a couple of wins here. That is Randy McNeely, the driver out of Louisville, Illinois. So again, split up. Again, 1A, 1B. 1A going to the green right now. J.C. Weiss out of Allendale, Illinois. 1 top 5, 5 top 10s in his last 10 starts, an average finish of around 9th. And the mystery machine rolling around through turns 3 and 4. Not even a scratch of duct tape for a number on that one. Netherly in the 7, the Palestine, Illinois driver coming around as they are on the clock. Checkered flag doth fly here for B-Mods, group number 1. $17,099 for the 20. Clark. Second group of B-Mod drivers rolling out to the speedway. It's like Tucker Limke in the 69L has made his way onto the back straightaway. It's like the 18RY of Ranker Isaacs. Rolling in behind him, the 77, Bill Lieb. On the backstretch as well. $7J, Everett Bradham from right down the road in Olney. Makes his way through turns 3 and 4. Average finish is 7th in his last 10 outings here. 5 top 5s and 6 top 10 finishes. A little bit of smoke coming out of the number 77 right now. The 95H on the front straightaway, Tim Hutton. Driver to Spurgeon, Indiana. Quentin Ayers, Lawrenceville, Illinois driver in the 51, also out for this qualifying session. Last appearance back here on May 30th at a 3rd place finish as they'll wind him up and set him loose. So Clark, 17.099, remains the quickest. Field coming around to the wave of the white flag. See if anybody can get up and grab that position away. All 13 have made their way out to qualify in B-Mod competition. So Clark in 20, 17.099. Ayers in the 51, a 17.491. Weiss, a 17.677. Jones, 17.919. And McNeely, 18.078 is your 5 quickest qualifiers for B-Mods. So just a couple of minutes here before we go into opening ceremonies this evening. Sunoco was the world's largest manufacturer of racing fuels, and they have been the standard of motorsports for over 50 years. Go to SunocoRacefuels.com to learn more. Hoosier Racing Tires' mission is to be the dominant customer-driven provider of racing tires to teams domestically and internationally. For more information on the tires designed for champions, go online to HoosierTire.com. The K&N Clean Air Award is presented to the driver who leads the most laps during each USAC National 8 feature event throughout the 2026 season. The award is designed to recognize sustained performance at the front of the field where engine efficiency, reliability, and meticulous preparation are at a premium. Shop for your vehicle or even your home now at knfilters.com. Whether it's at the original store in Warsaw or right in the heart of racing at their new location in Brownsburg, Indiana, Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts has what you're looking for. Shop their full inventory of Intech, Featherlight, ATC, Hallmark, Alumitech, and E-Z-GO golf carts. Shop in person or online 24/7 at Elliott'sCustomTrailers.com. That's Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts, where you're always a winner. Looks like crew's going to come out and maybe roll a little bit of the track in here. So with that, we are going to step away on the FloRacing and Amazon Prime broadcast. We'll be back to Red Hill.
Thursday Night Thunder returns to Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park on Thursday, June 25th, featuring the historic Hoosier 100 with the USAC Silver Crown Series and the world-famous Nights Before the 500 with the All-Star Pavement Midget Series. 2 major events on one legendary night. Tickets are only $25 and kids 12 and under get in free. Don't forget free camping and parking too. Get all the details at raceirp.com.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence. Order online at AMSOIL.com.
The new Dirt Draft app, faster, sharper, built to win. New lock windows and predictive contests. More ways to play, more ways to win. Lock in your drivers, watch the action, and become a fantasy champion. Every lap, every restart, every last lap slide job that moves you up the leaderboard. The green flag just dropped on the all-new Dirt Draft. Download it now at dirtdraft.com. Draft your team and get in the race.
Something has awakened. The horsepower and torque you always knew was there, just waiting to make every drive thrilling. Track tested, off-road proven, performance for everything you drive. Drive better with K&N.
Up for a challenge? How about this? Anything you can do, I can do faster. Okay, bro. I'm gnarlier than you. I get more sideways. I'm louder. Much louder. I get wilder than you. You sure about that, bro?
Harder. Slicker. Cooler. Tougher. Let's go.
So what you got?
Welcome back to the broadcast here on FloRacing and the Amazon Prime app. Again, night number 1 in the Illinois State Sprint Car Championship here at Red Hill Raceway with the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship in conjunction with your Midwest 410 Sprint Cars. Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the program. Would you please rise for our invocation and national anthem? If you would, please remove cover. Out of respect to those who serve this nation and in honor of those who have given their lives in her defense. If you would, please bow your head with us this evening. Our Father, tonight before we would go to you and ask of you, as always, we would go to you to give thanks for you. We thank you, Lord, for your glory, your grace, and above all, your teachings and your forgiveness. For when we fall short of your path, you never fail to bring us back to your side if we would simply turn to you. And now, Lord, tonight we would ask of you. We would ask that you watch over the drivers who have gathered here tonight, that the fire, the competitive nature that drives them would never die. But through that, sportsmanship, fairness, friendship, these are the virtues that would prevail in that moment that could be tarnished by anger and regret. We ask not only that you watch over and give a guiding hand to our drivers tonight, but everybody who has gathered on these grounds, our fans, our officials, the crew members, that you would watch over us in every aspect of our life until you bring us home to our resting day. We give thanks and ask all of this in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and again, welcome to tonight's presentation of the United States Auto Club featuring the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship at K1 Filters Heat Race number 1. We'll kick things off for sprint car competition. A trio of heat races tonight. Heat race number 1 brought to you by K1 Race Gear, TJ Ford's bringing heat race number 2, and K&M Filters sponsoring heat race number 3. In 4-car inversion out of each group's qualifying effort, Kevin Thomas Jr., who was the quickest qualifier for group number 1, he will line up at the outside of row number 2. David Gasper, quickest in group number 2. He will go to the 4th position. And Justin Grant, who is tonight's overall Learn Lap Quick qualifier, again, he'll start 4th in heat race number 3. Toyota Racing Development pace truck going to roll out and get positioned. Cars will parade out onto the front straightaway. They will fire from the racing surface. With that, let's go in and set the lineup for K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 1. Going for the pole, the driver out of Worthington, Indiana, by driver of the Beasley's Railcar Repair Spec, BRC, American Dream Racing, Parallax Motorsports, Midwest Down to Services number 14. It's going to be Jaden Rogers. Outside row number 1, he's from down the road in Greenfield, Indiana, driver of the TJD Roofing and Exteriors, Megacorp Logistics, Hunter Maddox owned Indiana Metal, Sony Kizer Body Shop number 24X. That is CJ Leary. Second row for the inside, it will be Kyle Cummins out of Princeton, Indiana, the Avant Toyota Doors, Dugo Superfoods, Stanton Machma Chassis number 3P, and outside of him, Kevin Thomas Jr. to Coleman, Alabama, the Majestic Electric, Inland Rigging Bird Racing, Stanton Machma Chassis, Rocksteady Racing number 3R. Third row inside line, Troy Carey to Tillamore, New South Wales, Australia, the Skyline Building, Supas Hall, Kevin Davis Brothers number 45 in, and to his right for the 6th starting spot, out of Owensville, Indiana, driving the FloRacing Chassis, Stanton P1 Australia Products, King Racing Products, Davis Brothers number 5K, it's Rooster Kid Schmidt. Final row for the inside, Clark in 8th. That's Michael Clark out of Brazil, Indiana, the Freedom Roofing, J&D Powered, Spike Chassis number 8 machine. And your final starter is set to be Jake Swanson out of Anaheim, California, the Inland Rigging, Dirty Motorsports, 1 DRC Chassis, Snake Enterprises number 5T. That'll be your scheduled lineup again for K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 1. Drivers making their way out, and Drake with an update.
Well, one of the big stories out of Learn Lab qualifying was Jake Swanson with that flat right rear tire. He did get 1 lap in, but not really a representative lap time to what we expect that Daming Swanson Motorsports 5T. And like I said, he'll now have to roll off the tail end of the field here in the first heat race of the evening. Also wanted to talk about our current points leader, Kyle Cummins, rolling from the inside of row number 2. And Kyle himself had a little bit of a scare before he got to the racetrack here at Red Hill Raceway. As a matter of fact, it wasn't even so much he had a scare, but his crew guys did when they went into their shop earlier today at Southern Indiana to finish up loading that race car to come out here to Sumner, Illinois. They found a snake in the shop. Now, I'm no expert, so I have no idea what snake it was, but it was big enough to scare me, no question about that. And funny enough, the crew was pretty unaffected by it. They sent a video to Kyle, and you would have thought the way Kyle has described it that he was there battling for his life against this snake. Kyle Cummins, in case you didn't know, is not a big snake fan. There's a great video that was posted to the Petty Performance Racing social media pages today. Definitely worth the watch, and I guess the more you know about Kyle Cummins now, he is not a snake guy.
That was not a snake. That was a nope rope. Nope, don't get near those. Field will begin to fire. One of the differences, again, with the format tonight versus tomorrow, your qualifying time only used to set your heat race lineup. From there, your heat race finish is what determines your lineup in the main event. Again, the top two go into that inversion draw out of each one of the heat races. So Jake Swanson, again, that time now done for the night. It goes back to where he finishes in the heat race. Field going to jackrabbit around and find the Toyota Racing Development Pace Truck on the back straightaway. Again, 8 laps, everybody moving on into the feature event here this evening. Jaden Rogers is a 4-time winner here outside of USAC National Competition. Last visit. Back on May 9th, the USAC MRA and Midwest 410 Series teaming up here. That was his 4th victory. 8th back in April. Problems as I believe Swanson has come to a stop now, getting assistance from the Indy Power Sports side-by-side back down to the pit area. So looking up right as the car got assistance from that Indy Power Sports side-by-side. Drake, not sure if it was steam or smoke, but something certainly coming out from underneath the hood.
Yeah, Brian, I'm kind of in the same boat as you. It almost looked more like steam than smoke coming out the right side of that 5T, and we talked about the issues he had in Learn Lab qualifying, and this is certainly adding on to it. And tough break for Jake Swanson, who we've talked about too at a few different times in the last few weeks, just really needs some good runs to get back on his feet here in 2026. Not sure if they've made their way back to the trailer or the Indy Medal finishing work here, but tough luck for him here on the pace laps of the opening heat race.
Team able to look down from Studio 54, and it looks like we do. Or Studio 56, rather. Looking down into the Indy Medal finishing work here, it looks like the crew is going to work. And hard to tell, but it looked like at one point maybe the hood did come off of the 5T. We'll see if we can get back and find out a little bit more of what's going on with him. Looks like, though, they are giving it the push back to the trailer. So a tough start to the night, getting only that much worse for the driver number 5T. Crew will go to work in the Daming Swanson with Darty Motorsports entry. As Jaden Rogers set to lead him down to the drop of the green flag. CJ Leary next to him tonight in the Hunter Maddox entry. Cummins and KTJ, Troy Carey, Kent Schmidt, and Michael Clark. Now round out the lineup. Toyota Racing Development Pace Truck down into the infield. NOS Energy start can exit turn number 4. The field is side by side, nose to tail through that point. They come around to the front straight, but they find the throttle. We're underway. Jaden Rogers going to have the advantage off into turns 1 and 2. He will bolt it onto the back straightaway. Pair of drivers chasing him. It's going to be Leary and your current USAC National points leader, the 3P, Kyle Cummins, patrolling down around the bottom side of the speedway. Looked at second, wasn't able to get it away from CJ Leary. Now Leary's going to look for the top spot. 3 wide for the race lead. Up to the top shelf goes Jaden Rogers. He's going to hold on to it. The Beezy's Railcar Repair Spec DRC number 14 so far holds on to the race lead. Leary holds on to second. Cummins right there now misses the step of the exit to number 4. Carlink's given back to the number 24. Now taken away the 3R. Kevin Thomas Jr. watching all this from the 4th position as they bolt into turns 3 and 4. Top 2 drivers up to the high side. KTJ right there in the 4th spot. He goes around the high side of the speedway. Kyle Cummins trying to make the bottom side come to life here. Slides himself over through turns 1 and 2. Kevin Thomas going to diamond her down to the bottom. Good run onto the backstretch. Now he's going to try the inside line through turns 3 and 4. Cummins up to the top. He's going to get away. He holds on to that third position. Jaden Rogers, though, continuing to lead in 14. 4 in 4 to go. Leary running in second. Cummins, KTJ, Troy Carey, Kent Schmidt, Michael Clark rounding out your running order. Again, if you're just joining us, Jake Swan, some mechanical problems prior to the start of this heat race after sustaining a flat in Learn Lab qualifying. Pulled off down into the pit area before we went to green. Ooh, a little bit of smoke starting to pour off of the, looks like, left bank of the 45 as they work onto the back straightaway. Troy Carey currently running in the 5th spot. Leader starting to build some advantage here. Jaden Rogers with 2 to go. This time, white flag coming for the driver, the number 14. 1.194 seconds to the good. Last time around, lays her up on the cushion onto the front straightaway. The BZ's Railcar Repair Spec DRC number 14 absolutely hauling right now in heat race competition. Onto the far side of Red Hill one last time, and at K1 Race Gear heat race number 1, he'll cheat her up onto the cushion, round to the front straightaway. Checker flag at a drop. Jaden Rogers gets the heat race win. CJ Leary in second, Colin Cummins in third, Kevin Thomas Jr. in fourth, fifth. Working through turns 3 and 4. Oh, contact made, and it's going to be Rooster coming by to steal it. Kent Schmidt in the 5 takes it from Troy Carey as they bang tires at the exit to number 4. Michael Clark unofficially rounding out your field. What's your winner, ladies and gentlemen? He is out of Worthington, Indiana. Driver of the BC's Railcar Repair, Parallax Motorsports, Midwest Auto Services, K1 Race Gear, Alchemy Engineering number 14. Give him a hand, Jaden Rogers. Winner, K1 Race Gear heat race number 1. Let's go down to Drake.
Jaden Rogers in other series has been one of the best drivers here over recent years at the Red Hill Raceway. And as a matter of fact, with the Midwest Thunder 410s and USAC MRA, picked up a win here in the month of May in dramatic fashion. And Jaden, you and I were talking in the pit area earlier today. A lot of the USAC guys have only experience at this place when it's fast and heavy like we saw last year and earlier this year in April. You, on the other hand, have been here with some pretty dry tracks. It looks like it's trending that direction tonight. Do you think that notebook on more dry racetracks here at Red Hill Raceway is going to come into handy tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I do have a lot of experience here. It seems to be really nice to me for some reason, and I don't know, just kind of more my format. Got out front. It's going to be a good feature.
Jaden Rogers comes into the weekend actually leading the points for the Midwest Thunder 410 Sprint Car Series, a series championship he has won before in his career. But for now, he's your winner of K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 1.
Thank you very much. Heat race number 2 brought to you by TJ Forge, and the lineup set to roll to the green with Logan Seavey out of Southern California on the pole position. The Mount Mechanical Contractors, Dropline Indy Power Sports, EGCPA, Stanton DRC chassis number 57. Outside of him, it'll be Charles Davis Jr. to Buckeye, Arizona. The MP Environmental, Black Magic Beadbreaker, Stanton DRC. Chuck D's Wieners number 47. Second row for the inside, the Madman, Robert Ballou to Rockland, California. The Suburban Subaru, Dean's Waterfront Services, Don DRC, Factory Kane number 12. And next to him, you'll find David Gasper. He's out of Santa Barbara, California. Driver the Simply Birdhouse TSR Clee CSI. Tyler Sturgeon Racing at number 77. The 76J, JJ Hughes out of Jasper, Indiana. Driver the TRP Transmissions, Williams Performance, Triple X Chassis, DJ Safety, number 76J, goes from 5th. From 6th, it'll be the 19 of Hayden Reinbold at Gilbert, Arizona. The AME Electrical Reinbold Development Incorporated, Mississippi Valley Transportation, number 19. Final row, inside Eric Gentry out of Roberts, Kentucky. The G-Nick Construction Spec DRC, Chalkstick, number 10. And your final starter making the trip out of Iowa, originally out of Razorback, New South Wales, Australia. The Grassmere Performance Services, GPS Chevrolet Twister Chassis number 75. That is Glenn Saville. Again, TJ Forged bringing you heat race number 2 this evening. TJ Forged Wheels was founded to be the best, no-compromise forged wheels for the motorsports industry. Product quality, safety, and customer service are the driving factors for TJ Forged, and they are committed to being your first and your only call for racing wheels. Go to tjforged.com to get started today. The new standard of sprint car body technology is here, engineered with optimized airflow for maximum downforce and increased horsepower, and is available in multiple high-performance material options so every team can build the right body package for their program. Shop now at 5starbodies.com. 5-Star Bodies, the presenting sponsor for semi-feature competition. Whether you're running a go-kart, a micro, midget, modified sprint car, late model, or silver crown, or even a tractor, Rod Supply has the assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products that will help you to lead the field of performing at your maximum potential. Remember, they don't just sell them, they race them. Go to rodsupply.com to learn more. Again, $200 up for grabs this weekend, courtesy of the Parallax Group, putting on a mini passing master bonus this weekend. Every time drivers are on track, they will accrue points towards that. Parallax Group offers world-class power supply products to the RV industry. Parallax Group delivers high-quality assemblies and manufacturing solutions in North America that exceed client expectations, focusing on quality and efficiency to ensure their products lead the industry. Go to parallaxgroupinc.com for more. The field underway. Logan Seavey will bring him down to the drop of the green flag. The Mount Mechanical Contractors Advocates for Check Marketing number 57. Trio of wins so far this year. Went to victory lane 13 times last year across all manner of USAC national competition. First win of the season up under the giant roof of the SageNet Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The Chillable Nationals powered by NOS Energy Drink his preliminary night. Going to victory lane. Volusia back in February in Ocala, the site of his last USAC national win. A winner here back in 2025. Last outing of the Knoxville Raceway, a 13th and a 9th place run for Logan Seavey. Again, he goes from the pole to 47 to Charles Davis Jr., 17th and 19th last weekend in Knoxville. First appearance for him back in the Midwest this year was back during the Tony Holman Classic at Terre Haute with a 15th place run. 10th place finish last year. Local results in 2024, a 4th place finish for the driver of the number 47. Robert Ballou in the 12. Absent from USAC National victory lane since last year. He did get a win earlier this year in the sprint car portion of the Kokomo Grand Prix up at Kokomo. That was back in April. 4th after leading laps here back in April. Midwest 410 win back in 2024 for the driver of the number 12. David Gasper next to him. J.J. Hughes, first time we've seen him this season. The 19 of Hayden Reinbold, the 10 of Eric Gentry, and the 75 of Glenn Saville. Again, set to round out your field. Toyota Racing Development pace truck with the hard left down into the infield. Again, the NOS Energy start can. Exit turn number 4. Nice and even through that point onto the front straightaway. We find the green flag flying. We're underway. Logan Seavey going to try to get out and lead the way. Robert Ballou and Charles Davis setting sights on him on the back straightaway. Robert Ballou down around the bottom in 12. Can he get the run this time to the front stretch? He cannot. It will be the 57 of Seavey leading. Blue running in second. Charles Davis Jr. running in third. They've got Reinbold coming after them. No, that's Hughes, in the 77. Throwing sliders and haymakers over in turns 1 and 2. Answer denied as he goes after it again on Charles Davis Jr. The 47. Cuts it back down to the inside one more time. Hughes is right there on his back bumper. Charles Davis fending off the charge twice now from the 76, and that has allowed a new contestant into the picture. That is going to be David Gasper in the 77. The Clee Simply Birdhouse entry up across the nose of Hughes' number 76. They'll tap tires a little bit there at the exit turn number 2. Turn 4, rather. Get my into the racetrack right here in a minute as they work now to the exit of turn number 2. It's going to be J.J. Hughes taking back that position, and Reinbold now into that mix. Reinbold around the bottom patiently in the 19, trying to get by Gasper on the front straightaway. He will have him cleared as Logan Seavey leads just past the midpoint here in TJ Ford's heat race number 2. His advantage 1.698 seconds last time around. The fight for the 4th spot, still 3 cars deep and getting after it. Hughes in the 76, the 19 of Reinbold, and the 77 of Gasper. Gasper with a run to the outside of the speedway. Reinbold with a good launch on the bottom side. Gets the position back, now going to come after Hughes. They work into turns 3 and 4. Up across the racing surface. Hughes going to try back to his inside. No dice to AMSOIL. Let's go number 19. He's going to take over the 4th position as they work into turns 1 and 2. Gasper now working by the 76. White flag coming this time for Logan Seavey. Seavey leads it onto the back straightaway for the final time here in TJ Ford's heat race number 2. Comfortably into turn number 3. Enters to the middle, brings her up to the cushion. Exit turn number 4, and he will get it done. Seavey, winner in TJ Ford's heat race number 2. Robert Ballou crossing in second. Battle for third. Charles Davis Jr. holds off the horde. Coming to the drop of the checkered flag. Reinbold in 4th. Gasper in 5th. Hughes in 6th. Gentry and Saville unofficially running out your field. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, he comes to you out of Center, California. The Mount Mechanical Contractors, Drop Line Indy Power Sports, Stanton DRC number 57. Give him a hand, Logan Seavey. Robert Blue in second, Charles Davis Jr. in third, Hayden Reinbold in fourth, David Gasper in fifth, J.J. Hughes in sixth, Eric Gentry in seventh, and Glenn Saville unofficially rounding out your field. See if he gets the helmet off. Let's go down to Christy.
So for Logan Seavey, there's always some incentive to win a heat race with the AMSOIL USAC National Sprint Car Series. Depending on where you qualified in Learn Lab qualifying, it can secure you a much better starting spot. Tonight with this Midwest Under 410 Sprint Car Series format, winning the heat race absolutely secures you a better starting spot. If you want to explain that a little bit and then talk about, did it feel like the stakes were raised for you?
Yeah, a little bit. Just yeah, it's just totally different than what we're used to. Qualifying is not as important, and kind of worked out for me hitting the front row like that, and yeah, just having clean track there for that whole heat race. So yeah, now that we won our heat, we're going to start, at least locked into the top 6 and be in a good spot for later. So yeah, I just want to give a shout out to everybody that allows me to be out here. Brent and John and their families, and Ken Goss with Any Race Parts, the Harvey family with Mountain Mechanical, everybody with Drop Light, DRC Chassis, CSI Shocks, Dave and Tina Sharpley with Sharp Advantage Seat Inserts, Ultra Shield Seats, everybody that keeps me happy and comfortable and safe in this race car. And yeah, track's in good shape right now, and I'm excited for the future later.
So that's Logan Seavey. He's your winner of TJ Ford's heat race number 2. He alluded to it a little bit there. Instead of reverting back to our qualifying times for a 6-car invert in tonight's feature field, we redraw the top 2, or I guess that's not a super great way to explain it. We redraw a number that will invert at least the top 2 from every heat race. So that locks the top 2 cars from every heat race into that inversion lineup, which definitely helps tremendously.
Indeed, thank you very much. As we roll into K&N Filters Heat Race number 3, Briggs Danner of Allentown, Pennsylvania, the E. Schneider & Sons Recycling, Keystone Cap Rider, DRC Chassis number 39, slated for the pole position. Outside row number 1 is going to be Mitchell Moles out of Raisin City, California, the AME Electrical, Civil Transportation, Reinbold Development Incorporated, Indy Race Parts number 19, AZ. Second row from the inside, Chase Stocknet of Fort Branch, Indiana, the England Machine and Tool, Moments by Morgan, Lucas Oil Center, Kissler, DRC Chassis number 92. And for the 4th starting spot, he's out of Ione, California, the NOS Energy Drink, MPV Logistics, Top Industries, G&G Racing Fuel, Stanton Max at number 4 of Justin Grant. Cale Coons out of Greencastle, Indiana, the Curb Records, Mechanical Advantage, Goleta Charters, Neil Tire number 63. He'll roll from 5th. From 6th is going to be Steve Thomas out of Ludlow, Illinois, driving the Racing Optics K1 Race Gear Foxco Flea RC Chassis number 20. Final starter in his USAC National Sprint Car debut out of Evansville, Indiana, the Jackson Lawn Care Spec Max and Pure Max Racing Oil. Caleb's Bridge of Hope number 64C, that is Colin Jackson. That'll be your scheduled lineup for K&N Filters Heat Race number 3. Again, 8 times around, top 2 lock into that inversion draw. Your feature lineup based off of heat race finish tonight. Tomorrow we go back to the normal USAC national format. 2 cars out to the track at a time to qualify. 6-car inversion into the heat races. Your quick qualifier lining up to the outside of row number 3 in each one in heat race number 1. Second quick in heat race number 2, and so on. Crews will begin to clear. The field just about ready to fire. Real quick, let's check in with Drake.
Brian, you talked about Mitchell Moles rolling from the outside of the front row here in our 3rd and final heat race. Got a pretty solid qualifying effort when it comes to the group side of things. 3rd in group, but Mitchell Moles battling a little bit of sickness here today at the Red Hill Raceway. He's been laying up in the trailer for the most of the day, just trying to take it easy. And of course, you look at his season. If you miss a race with the USAC National Sprint Car Championship, boy, is it hard to make those points up as he comes into the weekend 3rd in points. But Mitchell said, look, I'm locked in. I'm here to do a job, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. He rolls from the outside of the front row.
Incidentally, sometimes when a driver's not feeling well, they want to get out of the car so quickly, they end up turning in one of their best performances of the season. We've seen that with several drivers over the years, so it'll be interesting to watch the driver, the number 19 AZ, and of course, wish him well and hope he recovers quickly as we work through the weekend. Don't forget, we're back here tomorrow. Round 2 of the Illinois Sprint Car State Championship. Same bat time, same bat channel. Engine heat slated for 6:30 tomorrow. Again, tonight's racing action not only featured on FloRacing, but also on the Amazon Prime app. We talked about this on night number 1 of Knoxville the last time we were on Prime. where this is a partnership between Flow Sports and Amazon Prime in order to get as many different tracks and series and competition that is offered through FloRacing out onto the app and really give everybody a wide variety and a mixture of all the different things. Of course, last weekend you had Knoxville, you had Bowman Gray, you had Off-Road, you had High Limit going into the week. So if you want to find out what's going on in the Amazon Prime app, simply go up into the search column and search for FloRacing. Scroll down, and you can see the next events that are set to air. And again, that is free. It is all included with your Amazon Prime app. You already pay for it. It's included at no extra charge. So Briggs Danner in the 39, Mitchell Moulds in the 19, row number 1, Chase Stock in the 92, Justin Grant in the 4, row number 2, Cale Coons, Steve Thomas in row number 3, and Colin Jackson all by himself in row number 4. Field set to get after it, side by side, nose to tail, to the NOS Energy start can exit turn number 4. Field fires down the front straightaway. They rumble into turns 1 and 2, and it will be Briggs Danner taking advantage of that pole starting position. He will lead the charge. Coming around turns 3 and 4. Moles slides her up the racetrack, blocks against a potential slide. He holds on to that second spot. Stockin running in third. Driver running in fourth. Justin Grant gets a big launch onto the back straightaway, right to the back bumper of the Moose Racer number 92. Does he choose high or low? Both drivers choose the low line into turn number 3. Up across the racing surface, exit turn number 4. They grab the cushion. They bolt her onto the front straightaway. Cale Coons right behind them, running at your top 5 positions. Steve Thomas and Colin Jackson right now running at your running order. Just like we've seen in every heat race so far, once the leader gets some momentum wound up, they really start to pull away. And Briggs Danner, 0.8 of a second to the good last time. It is 1.329 seconds between himself and Mitchell Moles as it is game off of that third spot. Grant with the slide up across the racetrack. Bottles are up just a little bit. Stockin answers down to the inside, retakes the position. Chase Stockin back up into third. Justin Grant not done. He'll get the rubber band wound up one more time. Right to the back bumper of the Moose Racer number 92. Throws her down to the inside through the middle of turns 1 and 2. Up to the cushion. Stockin back to his inside. Thank you very much. Retakes a spot as they work into turns 3 and 4. Stockin going to slide himself over in turns 3 and 4. And again, Justin Grant going to haul right to his back bumper. Does he go for the slide again? Yes, he does. This time going to try to shorten it up on the number 92. Stockin really has to pitch the car, but just like we saw for the third time in a row, he's able to answer the slide and retake it. This time switches that line up into 3 and 4. Sticks to the high side. Grant not able to get the run. He tried to slide himself. He loses car links on the front straightaway. Cale Coons watching all this go on, hoping one of them with a misstep to see if he can make his way by. Runs in that 5th spot. Steve Thomas, Colin Jackson still running at your running order. Briggs Danner in the meantime, 1.056 seconds. His advantage shrinking a little bit. It was up to nearly a second and a half. Mitchell Moles now bringing it down to 0.9 of a second. Danner working by the slower machine of Colin Jackson as they work into turns 3 and 4. The race for 3rd, 4th, and 5th still one to watch. Cale Coons coming after Justin Grant now. Coons across the nose of the 4. Grant to his inside, retakes it. Coming around to the drop of the checkered flag. That was the battle to watch as Briggs Danner gets the job done in K&N Filters heat race number 3. Mitchell Moles in 2nd, Chase Stockin in 3rd, Justin Grant in 4th, Cale Coons in 5th, Steve Thomas and Colin Jackson unofficially rounding out your field. Danner wins it by nearly a second, but the race to watch in that one from 3rd, 4th, and 5th from start to finish. As your winner comes to you out of Allentown, Pennsylvania, the East Snyder & Sons Recycling Rider DRC Keystone Cat number 39. Race fans, give him a hand, Briggs Danner. Mitchell Moles in 2nd. Stockin comes out on top of that 3-car battle for the 3rd spot. Justin Grant retakes 4th, coming to the checkered flag. Cale Coons in 5th. Steve Thomas and Colin Jackson unofficially rounding out your field. Danner pulls it down onto the front straightaway. He leads the season in heat race wins. Number 7 so far this year for the driver, the number 39. Let's go down to Drake.
Brian, you took the words out of my mouth. It's been a very productive season on the heat race side for Briggs Danner. And Briggs, you've been here twice with this series before, but both times the racetrack's been so fast. I was talking to Jen Rogers about this earlier. Do you have to kind of throw out your notebook that you had of the previous races here at Red Hill to really adapt to this racetrack now with it being a little bit drier and slicker than we've seen in races past?
Yeah, a little bit. It's definitely wide right now. I feel like this is about as wide as it's ever got when we were here at the end of the feature. So be curious to see what happens to the track as the night goes on, see what track work they do, and just got to keep on top of it.
They'll certainly try to do that, and you think of Briggs Daner's background, those big fast tracks on the East Coast and even Lawrenceburg in Indiana, where he's made a lot of money over the last 2 years. Place is different, but not too different from those places. All about keeping up your momentum. As you said, Brian, winningest driver in the series so far when it comes to heat race competition.
Indeed, thank you very much. The invert draw has taken place. The invert will be 5 for the feature event. Again, the invert will be 5 for your feature event. So that should, I believe, put Robert Ballou and C.J. Leary up on the front row for tonight's 25-lap feature event. White Honda out in the parking lot, Indiana plate 157 EVJ. 157 EVJ. The report is your doors are open. And the mosquitoes are taking claim to your driver's seat, so you might want to go check on your car. Dirt Car UMP Modified should be next on the card. B-Mod heat races to follow. 6 laps of distance. Heat race number 1 of 2. Again, 10 cars. We'll split them up. Run a couple of heat races here for the modifieds. Larry Anderson, Clay City, Illinois, the 43A. He was your quickest qualifier tonight here with the Dirt Car UMP Modifieds. Justin Jones out of Olney in the 744 lines up next to him. Brandon Justice out of Evansville, Indiana, the 78, going from the 3rd starting spot from 4th. Evan Bradham, he's also out of Olney, Illinois. And keeping on theme with only drivers, Derek Patton in the 37W. Set to round out your lineup heat race number 1 for the Dirt Car UMP Modified. Set to go green this time. Field around to the exit to number 4. Green flag flies against 6 laps. Is the distance for the modified. Your pole sitter going to try to get up and hold on to the race lead. Challenge for a moment down to the inside of the 744, but it will be the 43A, Larry Anderson, leading him off into turns 3 and 4. Up across the racetrack. That car still with a massive push. That was a fight for the 3rd and 4th position there for a second. As Anderson leads, Jones in 2nd, Justice in 3rd, Bradham, Patton right now running at your running order. 1st through 4th undecided right now. The 37 kind of reevaluating his entry there into turn number 3. Much better lines. Going to look to the outside of the 78. Battle for the 3rd spot as they work into turns 1 and 2. Challenge denied. It'll be Justice holding on to it. Challenge for the race lead once more. A couple laps ago, the 744 was peeking down low. Now he's going to look to the top shelf through turns 3 and 4. Anderson trying to fend him off. So far, does a good job of it. 3 and 3 to go. The 744 has got her wound up on the bars onto the back straightaway. Can he get the run? He cannot. Anderson holds off the charge of Jones so far. Justin into turns 3 and 4. Tries the inside line this time. Going to lose some ground. The 43 continues to show the way. The 744 Jones, the 75 at Justice. The 37 of Patton coming around, and Bradham falling back to the tail end of the running order. Here comes the race for the lead. The 744 coming around to the wave of the white flag. Has it for a moment. The 43 back to his inside. They're side by side at the line. It was Jones scored ahead that time. As the run onto the back straightaway. Heroics on the final lap here in Dirt Car UMP Modified Heat Race number 1. Takes her off into turn number 3, enters to the middle. He'll take it right through that groove all the way through. Checker flag and a drop for your winner in that one, Justice Jones out of Olney. Getting the job done in Dirt Car Modified Heat Race number 1. Anderson in 2nd, Justice, Patton, and Bradham unofficially rounding out your field. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, coming around to the final lap, and he gets it done. He's out of Olney, Illinois. Give him a hand, Justin Jones, in the 744. Second heat race for the Dirt Car UMP Modifieds. Tyler Weiss out of Allendale, Illinois, the 50, and Josh Lincoln out of West Salem, Illinois, in row number 1, the 69L. Wes Harm out of Carmi, Illinois, in the 2X and the 3. Trevor Jones out of Olney in row number 2. Louisville, Illinois, Phil Bible in the 51. Rounds out your lineup. Heat race number 2 for Dirt Car UMP Modifieds. B-Mods is going to be coming up after this. Underway here in heat race number 2 for the Modifieds. It will be your pole sitter jumping up to the early lead. That's what we saw in heat race number 1. Only to be thwarted in the final lap. We'll see if he has a little bit better luck, and so far, he does. He's going to come around with a couple of car links to his advantage. Weiss leading, Lankham in second, Jones, Harms, and Bible right now running out your running order. Everybody singled out onto the back straightway. First through fourth, through about the first half of heat race number 1 was anybody's guess. Top spot undecided all the way to the end. Weiss going to try and decide this one early. 1.324 seconds. Lemke running in second. Jones, Harms, and Bible still running out your running order. Get a pair of B-Mod heat races coming up after this. As Weiss continues to open up that advantage. 2.132 seconds right now for the driver of the number 50 machine. Rings are nice and easy down around the bottom side of the racetrack. Last 10 starts for your heat race leader right now. He's gone to victory lane a trio of times. He has 6 top 5s and 8 top 10 finishes. His last win here in August of 2025. He was second back here on May 9th. So definitely has this one figured out as he works the back straightaway. One last time. Checkered flag and a fly. Heat race number 2 for the Modifieds. Goes to the 50 of Tyler Weiss. Lemke crossing in second. Harms in third. Jones and Bible unofficially rounding out your field. Advantage 3.673 seconds. Your winner, race fans, in 50 out of Allendale, Illinois. Give him a hand, Tyler Weiss. Mods of the B variety going to make their way out. Cody Clark, Vandalia, Illinois, in the 20, slated for the pole position. J.C. Weiss out of Allendale in the 50 next to him. Randy McNeely out of Louisville in the 5M. The 5 of Timmy Boldry out of Olney in row number 2. Wyatt Kennedy, the 11K from 5th. From 6th, Tucker Lemke in the 69L. And the 77, Bill Lee out of Bridgeport, Illinois. Set to round out your lineup. Unsanctioned are the B-Mods. Rules depend if you're running a spec motor or if you're running an open engine. A little more limited suspension package, a little more limited horsepower on these cars. A little different aero package as well as we take off. Heat race number 1 for the B-Mods. Again, 13 drivers on hand for this division here tonight. Up front, the Mullins number 20 of Cody Clark. Going to take off with the race lead. Weiss running in second, McNeely running in third, Boldry running in fourth, Lemke, Kennedy, and Lee right now run out your running order. Challenge on the speedway continues for the second spot. Weiss working about 3/4 of the way up at the racetrack. Holds off the 5M of McNeely for the time being here as they work onto the far side of the speedway. Driver giving chase to them is Timmy Boldry. Boldry started fourth, slipped back a little bit as they came down the front straightaway, was able to get back into that fourth spot before we got things really rolling here. Tucker Lemke running in the fifth spot. Wyatt Kennedy, Bill Lieb continues to round out your field to the midpoint. 3 in, 3 to go here in Beaumont Heat Race number 1. Clark continuing to lead. Weiss, who just a couple of laps ago had McNeely right on his back bumper, has really pulled away. In fact, Boldry closed up considerably on him. We'll see if he can get up and challenge here. Wave of the white flag in heat race number 1 for the B-Mods. Again, everybody going on into the main event. Clark takes him onto the back straightaway through turns 3 and 4. Enters low, swings it wide, and the Mullins, number 20, coming around to get the job done in heat race number 1 for the B-Mods. J.C. Weiss crossing in second. Randy McNeely coming home in third. Timmy Boldry in fourth. Tucker Lemke, Wyatt Kennedy, and Bill Lieb unofficially running out your field. But your Winter Race fans in 20 led it all at Vandalia, Illinois. Give them a hand, Cody Clark in 20. Once we wrap up our B-Mod heat races, we'll have just a little bit of work on the racing surface before we go into tonight's USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship feature event. Quentin Ayers out of Lawrenceville, Illinois, in the 51. Going to bring him down to the drop of the green flag here in B-Mod heat race number 2. Everett Bradham out of Olney next to him in the 7J. Kelby Simmons out of Watson, Illinois, in the 808 from the third starting spot from 4th. Johnny Nethery in the number 7. Tim Hunton, the Indiana driver, the 95H from the 5th starting spot. And from 6th, it'll be Ranker Isaac in the 18RY. AMSOIL inside the oval winner. Make your way down to the USAC merchandise trailer immediately. Wade Sons. You are tonight's AMSOIL inside the oval winner. Quickly make your way down to the USAC merchandise trailer as we are green in heat race number 2 for the B-Mods. High side with the advantage this time. Everett Bradham going to get the jump. However, that one's going to come back. Reports of debris, and it looks like a piece of somebody's body sitting over in turn number 1. So the sheet metal flies and it lands out on the racing surface. So we'll line him up and try him again. Bradham not happy to see that caution come out. He's been about the only driver that started on the outside that's really been able to get up and get the advantage, but luckily, take 2. He's going to go ahead and get it done. Challenge 2nd, 3rd, and 4th on the back straightaway. They're all going to work up to the top side through 1st through 3rd. First driver to break rank is the 808. Rides in that 4th spot. Bradham got some good advantage on the start. Lost a few car lengths that time as they worked into turns at 1 and 2. Challenge for the 3rd spot. Here comes the 808 down to the bottom here, trying to dig his way up into another position. Not quite able to clear. The 7 going to come around and hold on to it. Netherly a little bit too much momentum on the outside. Ayers running in 2nd. Bradham continues to lead. Isaacs in the 18 and Hutton in the 95. Round out your running order. A little bit wide over in turns 3 and 4, and that's going to cost the 7. He'll try to reclaim it, though, as they work into turns 1 and 2. That's the battle for the 3rd position. Kelby Simmons takes advantage. Netherly stepped her up into the fluff a little bit over in turns 3 and 4. Falls to the 4th spot. Both drivers continue to work to the high side of the speedway, and the entrance of 3, Simmons, cutting it down more to the middle. Challenge for the lead starting to brew here. 6/10 exactly last time at the start-finish line. Quentin Ayers will have 1 to go this time to try to get a run on Everett Bradham. Final trip around. Ayers had really lost ground at the start of this one. Makes up a little less than a tenth that time. Looks like not enough to try to mount a charge. We got 2 more turns to find out if I'm right or wrong here as they make their way into turns 3 and 4. Checkered flag going to come out. Beamont heat race number 2. And it is. Everett Bradham holds on for the win. Quentin Ayers in second. Kelby Simmons, Johnny Netherly, Riker Isaac, and Tim Hutton unofficially running out your field. Winner in 7, race fans. Give him a hand. He's out of Olney, Illinois. Everett Bradham gets the job done in Beamont. Heat race number 2. Again, if you have not made your way to the USAC merchandise trailer, Wade Sons, you are our AMSOIL Inside the Oval winner tonight. Also, when you go to shop online for all of your USAC gear at usacgear.com, use code NEW for free shipping. That code is good through Sunday night. The Indiana Midget Wheat shirts are online as well. So get those before you get to the track. Again, usacgear.com, code NEW for free shipping. And that is good through Sunday night. Track prep going to take place here before we get into our sprint car feature event. Here on the FloRacing broadcast on Amazon Prime. We're going to step away. We'll be back to Red Hill.
Check the forecast because it's calling for an eastern storm. The 19th edition of Yokohama Tire USAC Eastern Storm presented by Levan Machine and Truck Equipment hits the East Coast with 6 USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship events and a Silver Crown bonus June 16th through the 21st in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. It all begins Tuesday at Grandview before venturing across state lines to Bridgeport on Wednesday. Then it's back to Pennsylvania for Big Diamond on Thursday and the historic Williams Grove Speedway on Friday. A doubleheader arrives on Saturday at Port Royal for both the USAC Sprints and the Silver Crown Series. Eastern Storm finishes strong with the sprint cars on Sunday at the Bull Ring of Action Track USA. That's 7 USAC national events across 6 nights at 6 tracks on the East Coast, June 16th through the 21st for the $24,000 point fund and $12,000 going to the champ. For more info, visit usacracing.com and we'll meet you in the eye of the storm.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence. Order online at amsoil.com.
Indy Metal Finishing is a family-owned and operated business with 30 years of experience in the industry. Their mission is to support their customers with an exceptional level of quality and service. Conveniently located minutes from downtown Indianapolis, Indy Metal Finishing offers Type 2 and Type 3 anodizing chemical conversions, passivation, and electroless nickel services to motorsports, medical, military, aerospace, and manufacturing industries. Indy Metal Finishing is ISO certified and holds an FFL license. If you have any questions, please call Indy Metal Finishing today at 317-858-5353. Find them online at Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Indy Metal Finishing or visit their website at indymetalfinishing.com.
There's a moment behind the wheel of what I've built, where power overrides gravity, and I hit that zero moment. Zero doubts, zero fear, zero competition. No rule or mold I can't break. And limits, absolutely zero. And there's enough zero sugar to get me there.
P1 Australia Racing Components, sprint cars, midgets, and micros, specializing in engine heaters, oil heat mats, stainless headers, and black titanium. World headquarters in Indianapolis and also serving New Zealand and Australia. P1 ships daily. Visit our website at p1australia.com. P1 Australia Racing Components. For pricing, info, and more, slide into our Facebook and Instagram.
Power up your ride with True Brand Fuel Joules, the only time-release fuel treatment on the market. Fuel Joules cleans and lubricates while restoring power and performance, and its patented time-release formula increases fuel economy by up to 7%, saving you money at the pump, tank full after tank full. Plus, Fuel Joules races for a cause. We partner with the National Breast Cancer Foundation to fund life-saving early detection screenings for women in need. Visit TrueBrandProducts.com to get your bottle today.
RaceAid supports USAC racers and their families in times of need.
Your generosity fuels our recovery.
Your donations help us get back on track.
And scan the QR code to donate today.
Donate today.
Thursday Night Thunder returns to Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park on Thursday, June 25th, featuring the historic Hoosier 100 with the USAC Silver Crown Series and the world-famous Nights Before the 500 with the All-Star Pavement Midget Series. Two major events on one legendary night. Tickets are only $25 and kids 12 and under get in free. Don't forget free camping and parking too. Get all the details at raceirp.com.
One and three. Let's see. One, would that be a Tundra? K&N air filter. He said he overbuilt this game.
Okay. Number one is K&N truck filter.
Okay, sorry. Number one, I guess it has to be a truck filter since I already said number three is a car filter. That's a car for sure. A truck filter, number one.
And this would be the car filter. And one is K&N truck filter.
The number two K&N air filter is definitely a sprint car air filter.
Number two is K&N sprint car filter.
All right, so number two is sprint car filter. Sprint car filter.
This is a sprint car filter. Yep. Number two is K&N sprint car air filter.
And K&N air filter number three would be for a Toyota Tundra.
Number three is K&N car filter.
Number three is a car filter, truck, and a car filter. Number three.
Truck filter. Three is K&N car air filter.
Number four for a maybe like a side-by-side or a motorcycle.
Filter. Number four is K&N ATV filter. ATV filter.
Polaris Ranger.
ATV filter. A K&N ATV filter. Number four is ATV or K&N ATV air filter.
That's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking.
There's yours.
So you can thank my kids for this one.
I can affect the water. I should know this. I'm an engineer. What the hell? I should know buoyancy.
How do these feel so much? I don't know what you're talking about. How am I supposed to get it out without touching
Let me
it?
think about this for a second.
Can I dump it out?
Why is it peeled? Can I ask that?
What is it? What if I spin it like this? What am I supposed to do?
No.
I feel like this is a scam.
Is it moving?
Oh, we're making progress.
My son Spencer showed me a TikTok video.
Oh, look at this. It's raising. Give up.
Give up?
Yeah.
Okay.
If it slips one more time, I gotta. Okay, hold on. I was told I'm not allowed to make a mess, and I'm kind of making a mess.
This is rigged. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't. We'll try to complete the task here. My only hope kind of just broke off. Oh, I hit it. Now how do you get it out? Like that?
There we go. And then I dropped it, of course.
You can drink the
I just
water.
need to get the orange out?
Yeah. Oh, there's some.
What are you gonna do?
I got it up.
You gotta pick it up with, they got a bob for apples.
That's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking.
There's your orange.
Yep.
Send it out to Gracie.
Go for it.
What are you trying to do?
Send it.
What are you trying to do?
You gotta get the orange out of there.
Without
Try and swirl it up so it spins itself. Aha, look out. Look at me think.
I can't grab it. That's my problem.
There's a melon for you. It's not a melon, it's an orange. Look at it.
Oh. Okay, we've got it finally. 3 minutes later. Next.
I'd say probably before I started racing, my dad raced, and my grandpa had me liking NASCAR. So whenever I got to that point where I got the opportunity, it didn't take long to get hooked. I transferred from micros to 305s when I was really young, so I was still like 13, and I got partially emancipated for auto racing. So I don't really remember a whole lot from that either, but that 305 year, it went by really quick. A lot of bad nights and just trying to do good, keep up. My first sprint car win was at Paragon. Felt like that one took a while to get to, but yeah, finally knocked one off at Paragon, led almost, I'm pretty sure, the whole race, and then that year we clicked off 3 more there. Finally got a USAC win. Led, I think, that whole race too, or if not, maybe 1 lap I didn't, but took a long time to get to that one, and I really thought it was going to come somewhere else. I know I'm really good at Hobstop, but I had been so close at Putnamville a couple times, and I really thought that I was going to click one off somewhere else, but it just came to that point where we had been building up speed that second half of the season, and finally just got to somewhere I was really comfortable, and everything kind of worked out. I drove a S10, Chevy S10. I help my dad at the dyno as much as I can. I take care of all my own stuff, so during the week I'm doing my maintenance, grooving tires, cleaning trailer, whatever, and getting everything ready to go, and yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I'd probably say my dad. I mean, he's worked hard for not just me, my whole family, my whole life, so I'd say if I could live up to be like him, I'd be all right. Top Gun. Oh, dang, I don't know. I haven't read a book since probably elementary, so I don't have an answer for that one. I like Prison Break. That's a pretty good one. My favorite sport in high school was soccer, but soccer's not an easy sport to go just play for enjoyment. You gotta have 20 people or whatever it is. So I'd say basketball is what I did most often before I got hurt. I only have one routine that I try to do every time I race at Hobstad. I go to Spud Hut before, and I get usually the same thing. But if I race on Sunday, I can't because they're closed. I usually get a chicken bacon ranch wrap And if I'm really hungry, I add in some Spud Nuggets and do both of them. Can I answer cookies? I feel like cookies is probably on my top. Yeah, so my favorite midnight snack is usually whatever I can find, but if I have something I go to, I usually peel a banana, put a little bit of peanut butter on it, and chocolate chips on top of that, and then I drizzle honey over it. That's an easy one. If I was ordering pizza, it'd probably be meat lovers, I'd say, or pepperoni, and then I'd dip it in ranch, usually homemade ranch. Probably PE class. Is that a subject? Probably English. I'll say my wife. Pretty good one. I had a lot of Matchbox cars and sprint cars. Anywhere, I had a lot of racetracks too. Anywhere that I raced, I made my own racetrack at the house, and they were in different locations across the yard. Got mowed over a lot. I would say people's terrible driving, especially up here. Well, I mean, the typical left lane campers, but I mean, just nobody's paying attention to what's going on, so looking at their phone and, yeah, in the way. I like to pass people. I don't know that I have one, honestly. I have a very wide spectrum of music, all the way from, yeah, all of it. I've never been to a concert. Yeah. Hallie will probably drag me to one sooner or later, but I haven't been yet. Probably like a slow country song or a Colt 45, something like that I know all the words to. Probably Tony Stewart. And whenever my grandpa introduced me to, or just got me watching NASCAR, that's who we watched, and all the stuff that I had was Tony Stewart related, and that's where the 14 come from. Hawaii on my honeymoon. It was pretty cool. I work out a lot, so I don't like to miss days working out. I mowed lawns in high school, so I got paid to do that. And then out of high school, I went to Englers for a year, and I worked down there. I would say that, always keep your mind open to not just possibilities, but different ways around it. And every driver has their, some drivers show up and drive, and some drivers work on their stuff a lot, and I work on my stuff a lot, and I just feel like, especially in the last year, once I really focused in on details and not being nervous to expand what I used to do, it helped a lot.
Welcome back to the broadcast here on FloRacing and the Amazon Prime app. Horn has sounded down to the pit area for the teams to begin making their way into the staging lanes and ready to go for tonight's feature event. They're on the clock. A little bit of track work going on when we were away. Crew coming out doing a little bit of work to the high side of the speedway. Now working on rolling the added moisture down into the racing surface. Of course, tomorrow night back here at Red Hill Raceway, night number 2 of the Illinois Sprint Car Championship. 6:30 hot laps tomorrow. Again, 6:30 is the time for hot laps tomorrow. Worldwide Technology Raceway on Sunday, and again, that is all a part of the same ticket that includes the Bommarito 500 with the NTT IndyCar Series. Indy Next also on the card. Hope you can make the trip. If not, of course, it'll be right here on FloRacing. And again, tentatively, that is another event that is set to be shown on Amazon Prime. And as I said earlier, if you already pay for Amazon Prime, it is included at no extra charge. And if you want to find out what's coming up with FloRacing on Amazon Prime, just go up and search for FloRacing, and it'll show you the next few events that are set to be broadcast. So the Out Front Route 66 Classic presented by Welsh Heating and Cooling on Sunday. USAC Indiana Midweek kicks off on Tuesday. Circle City Raceway on June 9th. Paragon the following night. Lincoln Park, Bloomington Tri-State, and Kokomo rounding things out on Sunday. After that, Yokohama Tire Eastern Storm presented by Levan Truck and Equipment, and that kicks off on Tuesday, June 16th up at Grandview. Bridgeport the following night, Big Diamond, Williams Grove, Silver Crown, and Sprint Car competition at Port Royal on June 20th. And it all wraps up at Action Track USA. The Hoosier 100, a little bit of Thursday Night Thunder, Mother Nature intervening before the Indianapolis 500, so that event has been moved to June 25th. USAC Silver Crown action back on track. Millstream in Findlay, Ohio on June 26th. Butler Motor Speedway up in Quincy, Michigan on June 27th. And we round out the month with night number 1 of the Avante Windows and Doors BC 39, the dirt track at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The following night kicks off the month of July. And then it is a sprintacular event, if I've ever seen one. Lincoln Park Speedway in beautiful downtown Putnamville, Indiana on July 3rd and 4th. Terre Haute for the Sumar Classic on July 5th. Of course, you can see the entire lineup of events across all 3 national touring divisions of the United States Auto Club, and you go online to USACRacing.com. Cars beginning to make their way out onto the speedway. Tonight's feature event is 6,000 to the winner. It is round number 18 of 2026, and your lineup set to roll to the green like this. Going for the pole tonight, he comes to you out of Rockland, California, leading laps earlier this year here at Red Hill, driving the Suburban Subaru. Dean's Waterfront Services, Donut DRC chassis, number 12, the Madman, Robert Ballou. Outside row number 1, he's out of Greenfield, Indiana, driving the TJD Roofing and Exteriors, Megacorp Logistics, Midwest Septic Services, Auto Credit, Buy Here, Pay Here, Hunter Maddox on number 24X. It'll be CJ Leary. Second row from the inside into Allentown, Pennsylvania, the E. Snyder & Sons Recycling, Keystone Cap Rider DRC chassis number 39. It'll be Briggs Danner. And outside of him, out of Sutter, California, the Mount Mechanical Contractors, Dropline, Indy Power Sports, CG CPAs, Indy Custom Cell number 57 of Logan Seavey. The invert putting Jaden Rogers back to the 5th starting spot of the Beasley's Railcar Repair, American Dream Racing, Parallax Motorsports, Spec DRC chassis number 14. And lining up in 6, it will be Mitchell Moles out of Raisin City, California, the AME Electrical Messiah Valley Transportation, Rainbow Development Incorporated, number 19. Your current USAC National Points leader and defending champion. From the inside of your next row at Princeton, Indiana, the Avante Windows and Doors, Jugo Superfood, Stanton Mach 1 Petty Performance number 3. It'll be Kyle Cummins from 7th. From 8th, Charles Davis Jr. to Buckeye, Arizona, DMP Environmental, Like Magic Beat Breaker, Stanton DRC chassis number 47. Ninth starter is going to be Chase Stocking out of Fort Branch, Indiana, the England Machine and Tool Moments by Morgan Lucas Oil Center number 92. And outside of him, out of Coleman, Alabama, he pilots the Majestic Electric, Ross City Racing, Bird Racing, Inland Brigade number 3R. That is Kevin Thomas Jr. Out of Gilbert, Arizona, Hayden Reinbold, inside row number 6, the AME Electrical, Messiah Valley Transportation, Jugo Superfoods number 19. Outside of him, Justin Grant out of Ione, California, the NOS Energy Drink, KPV Logistics, Top Industries number 4. The 5K out of Owensville, Indiana, the P1 Australia Performance Products, Stanton Flea RC, King Racing Products, Davis Brothers number 5K. It's going to be Kent Schmidt. He'll go from 13th. From 14th, it'll be David Gasper out of Santa Barbara, California, the Simply Birdhouse TSR Clee number 77. Kel Coons out of Greencastle, Indiana, the Curb Breakers, Mechanical Advantage, Coletta Charters, Neil Tire, Joe Dooling, Kerbeck at Janie, number 63. He'll go from the inside of row number 8. And outside of him, that will be Troy Carey at Tullamore, New South Wales, Australia, the Skyline Building, Claxon Ripper, number 45 in. Next row from the inside in 76, it'll be J.J. Hughes out of Jasper, Indiana, driving the Arkeith Rooney Dentistry, Williams Precision, Triple X, number 76J. And next to him, the 20, Steve Thomas, the Illinois racer in the Racing Optics, Foxco Flea RC, K1 Race Gear, Hooker Harness Bell Helmets, number 20. 19th starter for the first time in his career. He will take the green flag in USAC National Feature Event Competition at Brazil, Indiana, the Freedom Roofing J&D Spike, Unity Hair Shop, number 8. That'll be Michael Clark. And next to him, Eric Gentry out of Roberts, Kentucky, the G-Nick Construction Spec DRC chassis, number 10. The 64C inside of your next row, he will line up 21st. That is Colin Jackson out of Evansville, Indiana, the Jackson Lawn Care, Kalo's Bridge of Hope, Midwest Downhill Services, Pure Max Racing on number 64C. Next to him, the 5, Jake Swanson out of Anaheim, California, the Inland Rigging Darty Motorsports, naming Swanson Doughboys LLC, Dirt Roots Digital, number 5T. Final starter comes to you all the way from Razorback, New South Wales, Australia, driving the Crossmere Performance Services, GPS Chevrolet Twister chassis, number 75. That is Glenn Saville. As that'll be your scheduled lineup for night number 1 of the Illinois Sprint Car Championships here with the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship, along with your Midwest Thunder 410s. 50-50 is over $700. Again, you are almost out of time to get your tickets. Get them while you can. Drivers continue to make their way out onto the speedway with one to watch. Let's check in with Drake.
Thank you so much, Brian. Indeed, it is time to get into our Dirt Draft 1 to watch. And reminder, there still is time to play in a Dirt Draft lobby, but you got to act fast to play in the rookie lobby because that contest locks here at the start of the feature event. Now into our Dirt Draft 1 to watch. I'm keeping my eye on the driver rolling from the outside of row number 3 in the 6th starting position. That is Mitchell Moles. Remember, a bit of a different format today with the USAC National Sprint Cars going under the Midwest 410 format here for the first night of the Illinois Sprint Car Championship. So with that being said, group qualifying was on tap. Mitchell Moles right behind me was able to go 3rd fastest in his group. He'd start 2nd in his heat race, and that's where he would finish, which is very important because that guaranteed him a starting spot within the first 3 rows. Unfortunately, out of the 6 pills, he drew the worst one. So like I said, he'll start 6th in tonight's feature event. If you're just joining us on FloRacing or Amazon Prime, Mitchell Moles has been battling an illness all week. He's tried to get better, but he finally got to a point where he could get in the race car here today, and he's battling through it like we've talked about, and he's done a great job at that. But even if you take away the sickness that he has had to fight all week before getting to Sumner, Illinois, he has a great record here at Red Hill Raceway. Still currently holds the 1-lap track record here with the USAC National Sprint Car Championship. He was 4th here last year and 2nd earlier this year in the month of April. And we talk about it a lot. It doesn't matter if it's race car drivers or other athletes. Sometimes they perform extremely well when they're sick. We'll see if Mitchell Moles can be another one of those tonight. He rolls off from the outside of row number 3. Also wanted to touch on Jake Swanson, who you said was in the starting lineup. Unfortunately, they are scratched for the night. Now, what does work in their advantage is tonight is a show-up points-only format, so everybody getting the same amount of points, but Jake told me he saw that the oil pressure was starting to drop before the start of the heat race. He took it off the racetrack. They went to the Indy Mill finishing work here, just deciding overall to not risk that motor. They'll be back here tomorrow for the 10 grand to win race.
Thank you very much. Trio of drivers late to appear to fire. The 45 in a Troy Carey, the 20 of Steve Thomas, and the 64C of Colin Jackson. That is a 2-row penalty if you are late. So again, once the horn shuts off in the pit area, an 8-minute clock begins. Once that 8-minute time elapses, if you are not ready to go, you're late to the party and you do suffer a 2-row penalty. A little bit of work done to the high side of the speedway again following heat race competition. So we'll have the drivers roll up top, get everything ready to go. Robert Ballou in the 12, going to lead them down to the drop of the green flag. Again, the driver to Rockland, California, the Suburban Subaru, Deaton's Waterfront Services, Donut DRC chassis entry. Ended up 4th here back in April. Went to victory lane with the Midwest 410 Series here in 2024. CJ Leary and the Maddox number 24X tonight. This race not on the calendar for the Fox number 53. See what he can do from the outside of run number 1. He was 10th back here in April. He ran 5th in June of last year. A couple of local starts, a 4th place finish last November. Briggs Danner in the 39, inside run number 2. Logan Seavey outside of him. Seavey in the 57, winner here back in 2025. Jaden Rogers, most recent winner in USAC MRA and Midwest 410 competition here back on June 9th, is 4th since 2024. In search of his USAC national score here at this racing facility. Mitchell Moles from the 6th starting spot. Cummins and Charles Davis Jr., row number 4. Stockton, then KTJ, Reinbold, then Grant. Schmidt, then Gasper. Coons from 15th, and again, this is where the lineup changes. Carey in the 45, Thomas in the 20, and Jackson in the 64. Again, will suffer 2-row penalties late to staging. So that should move J.J. Hughes to the outside of row number 8. Then Clark, then Gentry. Then it should be Carey. Then Thomas. Then Jackson, then Saville. As Drake mentioned earlier, Swanson, the crew electing to scratch for the night as this is a show-up points event. Everybody's already received their 50 points, so it's not going to hurt them in the standings. Everybody getting lined up, officials taking a look, and a couple of the drivers that were late to line up are getting put in their correct positions. 6:30 hot laps tomorrow. If you can't be here, of course, it'll be live on FloRacing. If you're watching on the Amazon Prime app and you want to watch more USAC competition, FloRacing is the official online broadcast provider for all 3 national touring divisions, sprint cars, midgets, and Silver Crown competition. And with your subscription to FloRacing, that is all a part of the Flow Sports Network. So it's not just motorsports, it's nearly every sport you can imagine. Everything from baseball, bull riding, racing, and more, all a part of Flow Sports. Field working to turns 1 and 2, and from side by side, they've broken rank to 4 wide. Ladies and gentlemen, our drivers, thank you for coming out to enjoy tonight's racing action. As they work down the back straightaway, race fans, light up them cell phones and rise to your feet. It's time to make some noise for the Ruts and Guts thrill ride of the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship. Kyle Cummins, victory lane 4 times this season. His last win, night number 1 at Knoxville. Justin Grant, most recent winner here at Red Hill. His second of the season. Seavey at 2. Moles, Danner, Bacon. All at a pair of wins. Stockin, Swanson, and Osborne. Do we add another one to the list tonight? Ballou. So close. Back in April. Leary. Bad fast at Knoxville. Can he finally make it back into victory lane? We're going to find out as they make their way towards turns 3 and 4. Race fans, it is time to sit back, relax, and enjoy 25 trips around the Red Hill Raceway, because race fans, this is what you saved your lunch money for. To the green on night number 1 of the Illinois Sprint Car Championship. Bill going to dash off into turns 1 and 2. The Madman. Going to get the pipes loud to the back straightaway. He'll try to lead on lap number 1 challenge coming down to the inside. Who will have it as they come around to complete lap number 1? It will be Ballou. Running in second. Seavey running in the 3rd spot. Seavey going to look low for the runner-up position. Advantage will be to the 24X as they work onto the far side of the speedway. It was Ballou, Leary, Seavey, Danner, and Moles, your top 5, and they came around to complete lap number 1. Lap 2 in the books, and it will be the 12 showing the way. Here comes Jaden Rogers down to the inside. He'll look for the 4th position on Briggs Danner. Danner going to answer that. He's going to look down to the bottom with a good run to the back straightaway. Holds on to the position as they work into turns 3 and 4. Danner to the middle. Rogers down to the bottom. Now going to slide it up and grab the cushion exit. Turn number 4. Chasing him is going to be the 19 of Mitchell Moles. Charles Davis Jr. running in 7th. Now it's going to be Stockin at the line, taking that from him. Davis, Cummins, and Justin Grant right now your top 10. Briggs Danner going to come up and try to fight for the 3rd spot. The 39 going to peel low. Exit turn number 4. Advantage to the 57, though. Logan Seavey holds on to the final step of the podium. Robert Ballou in the meantime, 1.034 seconds to the good. Last time by, coming around, working lap number 5. It is Ballou. Challenge still ongoing with that 3rd spot. Danner once again trying the bottom side through turns 3 and 4. Denied. Jaden Rogers in the meantime. Closing back on him. Mitchell Moles giving chase. He'll peel off at the top and head down to the bottom. He'll get the run onto the back straightaway. We'll see if he can secure the position in 3 and 4. He does. Danner in the meantime going side by side for the 3rd spot. Seavey holds on to it. And now here comes Moles to the outside. He's got 1. He's got 2. As he came around, he is going to move up into the top 5. Oh, Danner starting to go around, and a tap to the back bumper finishes it off. Caution. Briggs Danner, the car sideways, middle of turn number 2. Jaden Rogers. No time to get on the binders. He finds the back bumper of the number 39. And unfortunately, Danner, who had a great run going, now going to have to restart at the back of the field. Robert Ballou, though, had brought it out to 1.5 seconds over C.J. Leary. Logan Seavey now going to have Mitchell Moles on his back bumper. Jaden Rogers going to move up in the 5th. Stockin in 6th. Cummins in 7th. Grant in 8th. Charles Davis Jr. 9th. Cale Coons in 10th. Replay of what brought us under yellow flag conditions over in turn number 2. The 39 steps are sideways, and he was all but stalled, and the 14 just had a run off at the top of the racetrack. See right there where he gets sideways, and he is slow, but Jaden not going to get woed up in time. Contact, bumper to bumper in the 39. Will drop to the tail end of the field. Keep an eye to see how far he can make his way back up through the running order. So the crew is requesting the 39 down into the Indy Metal finishing work area. Once he brings it to a stop, the clock will begin, 60 seconds. So Danner going to make the turn to the crew. Going to take a quick gander. Crew going to work on the left side, Drake. You're getting a look at it. What's going on?
This looks like it's just a bit of a nut and bolt check on the right rear corner for Briggs. Danner looks like they're tightening one of the bolts on the right rear stop. Wasn't a lot of contact to the rear of the race car, but they're just doing a once-over. The team now talking to Briggs. Now they're going to take a look at the front end, also working on the left front stop there. I wouldn't be shocked if this is a bit of an adjustment as well, Brian. They're already at the back of the field here for the restart, so coming through the Indy Metal finishing work area isn't going to cost them any track position.
No, that's exactly what they're doing. They're adjusting some cross in that number 39, see if they can get him just a little bit more grip and go on exit. So the clock continues to tick. The Indy Power Sports side-by-side in place, and looks like Danner will be able to continue on. So again, they're not racing for points. It's pure payday here tonight. The show of points have already been awarded. Tomorrow, bigger payday, $10,000 to the winner. $6,000 to win tonight. Furrowed flag shown to the field, this time of the front straightaway. Single file through the NOS Energy start can next time around. 6 laps completed, 25 the distance. Ballou, Leary, Seavey, Moles, Rogers, that's your top 5. Stockin, Cummins, Grant, Charles Davis Jr., Cale Coons, your top 10. Gasper, Reinbold, KTJ, Hughes, and Gentry, your top 15. Schmidt, Carey, Clark, Thomas, Jackson, and Danner. Rounds out your field. Ballou bringing him slow all the way to the exit of turn number 4. Fires on the bottom side of the racetrack. We're back underway. Side by side, duking it out, slicing it up. That's going to be for the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th positions onto the back straightaway. Here comes the 19. He's going to capitalize on the restart. Mitchell Moles takes it up across the racetrack. Ooh, the 57 got her a little sideways. It was hard to tell if he maybe got a little tap to the back bumper. Good save, though. He keeps it rolling straight. Challenge for the 2nd spot denied. CJ Leary holds on to it in the Maddox number 24 right now as they bolt onto the back straightaway. Robert Ballou in the meantime holds on to the race lead. Here comes Jaden Rogers with the slide, trying to take over the 4th position from Logan Seavey. The Mount Mechanical Contractors Abacus Racing number 57 has it for a moment. The 14 again slides her up across the racetrack. This time Jaden Rogers with a good launch onto the back straightaway. Seavey with a better one. He's going to work down low into 3, up across the racetrack through turn number 4. They're going to swap lines around to the front straightaway. It'll be Jaden Rogers in the Beasley's Railcar Repair American Dream Racing number 14. He'll take over the 4th position. Logan Seavey back to 5th, slide it up for 6. Here comes Kyle Cummins around Chase Stockin. Cummins in the Avante windows and doors, number 3, as we do a quick check on your leader. Robert Ballou might have some company here. Mitchell Moles closing in the 19. Terre Haute Action Track during the Tony Holman Classic was his 2nd win of the season back on May 20th. Moles trying to grab number 3 here, works it off at the top and down to the bottom. Ballou's got company in 12. Outside of USAC competition up at Kokomo back on April 25th. The last time Robert Ballou is in victory lane. Moles, look at the launch onto the back straightaway, closing. Carlings quickly this time into turns 3 and 4. Lap car around the bottom this time through turns 3 and 4. Moles going to go ahead and duck down to the bottom and see if he can get a run. Denied once again. Robert Ballou will come to the halfway point this time. There's a slide for the race lead. Mitchell Moles up across the racetrack. Got it. You've got a new leader, but the caution's going to take it out of his hands. Driver slow on the back straightaway. Kevin Thomas Jr. looked like he wasn't going to be able to make it down to the exit on the entrance of turn number 3. Slow on the bottom side of the speedway. Field goes under caution, and Mitchell Moles, who had just slid his way to the lead, will have to go back to second. They weren't able to come around to get that one in the books. Robert Blue going to retake the top spot, and now this gives him a chance to get up and twist and turn on some of those knobs that are available to him inside the cockpit of that machine. So again, Robert Ballou back here in April, led laps. But just like this, as the race went on, under pressure, we found out after the fact that he had an injury to his left arm, and Drake, we'll see how this one does as we're getting ready to go lights out.
Yeah, Brian, you talked about almost a mirror image of what we saw here in April. And if you look at Robert Ballou's season, in our 17 completed races, Robert Ballou's only ran the top 10 8 times. And get this, he still has yet to finish on the podium here in 2026 and trying to snap nearly a year-long winless streak. His last win was during Indiana Sprint Week at the Lincoln Park Speedway last year. So not only a big opportunity for Robert to snap that winless streak, but to also get his first podium of the year. But like you said, Brian, now he has time here in this yellow flag to twist some knobs inside that Blue Motorsports number 12. We'll see if he can hold off Moles here on the restart.
Single file through the NOS Energy start can once again. "12 laps completed. Just shy of the midpoint in this 25-lap feature event. Ballou, Moles, Leary, Rogers, Seavey, your top 5. Cummins, Stockton, Grant, Coons, Gasper, your top 10. We're back after it. Ballou going to slide himself into turns 1 and 2. Moles going to stick up to the cushion. Ballou with a good launch onto the back straightaway. 3rd and 4th up for grabs. Leary and Rogers. Now here comes Cummins in the 3. He's going to patrol down to the bottom side of the speedway, but here comes the challenge for the race lead at the line. Mitchell Moles has it. Mitchell Moles comes around to take over on lap number 13. Robert Ballou back to second. Jaden Rogers has made his way up into 3rd. CJ Leary in 4th. Logan Seavey in 5th. Cummins, Stockton, Coons, Grant, and Gasper. That was your top 10 when they made their way through the start-finish line last time around. We'll see how things shake up now. Cummins in the 3, working up into 5th, able to clear the 57. Next driver in line is going to be the 24X of CJ Leary. He'll try to get up to him here. Moles in the meantime moving his line around over in turns 3 and 4. Challenge for the 2nd spot. Here comes Jaden Rogers in the 14. Ooh, close quarters racing at the exit to number 2. Rogers, Ballou duking it out. Both drivers looking to the bottom side through turns 3 and 4. Rogers up the speedway. Ballou likewise. Advantage will be to the 14. 10. Make it 9 to go now. Jaden Rogers trails by 1.827 seconds. Last time at the start-finish line, Mitchell Moles was moving his line around in 3 and 4. Now he's all the way to the top side of the speedway in 19. Still 1.8 seconds. Cummins in the meantime has taken over the 4th spot. Starting to close in on Robert Ballou now. He'll look for 3rd. About a half a car width different in the line as they exit turns 3 and 4. Slower car down to the bottom, going to protect from the slide. So Ballou holds on to the 3rd position for the time being. Working lap number 19. Jaden Rogers pedaling for all he's got to try to reel in your race leader. He's taking some time away, down to 1.5 seconds. Very sideways that time at the exit of turn at number 2, but he is still making up ground as they make their way into turns 3 and 4. Coming around this time, it'll be 5 laps remaining. A fistful shown to the field. Down to 1 second. Jaden Rogers is absolutely digging, clawing, doing everything he can to reel in Mitchell Moles. It'll be 4 to go this time. Robert Ballou holds on to the 3rd position. Cummins running in the 4th spot. Leary in 5th. Cale Coons running in 6th. Stockton, Seavey, Grant, and David Gasper. That's your top 10. On the back straightaway, shuffling around slower cars. Leader down to the bottom. He's up across the racetrack. Here comes Jaden Rogers. He'll clear the lap machine and tucks right in on your leader down to the front straightaway. Right there, and here comes the challenge. Exit turn number 2. Moles Going to have to pick his way around a slower car. Bolt driver's going to pick the bottom. The slower car goes to the high side. He's right there to his inside. Took a peek, wasn't able to get there. Mole's going to hold him off. Into the closing laps we go. White flag going to fly next time to the exit to number 4, and Jaden Rogers is right there as they make their way into the far side of the speedway. He'll throw the slide into turns 3 and 4. Caution, though. The 92 is stalking with a shredded Hoosier on the right rear. Comes to a stop just shy of making it down into the infield. Oh, my. Talk about an ill-timed yellow for Jaden Rogers. Throws the slide on Mitchell Moles for the lead as they were coming around to the wave of the white flag. So 23 to go. Or 23 in, rather. 2 to go. Moles will go back to the top. Jaden Rogers in second. Robert Ballou in third. Kyle Cummins in fourth. C.J. Leary in fifth. Cale Coons in sixth. Justin Grant in seventh. Logan Seavey in eighth. Hayden Reinbold and Briggs Danner from the back is into the top 10 down to the in-middle finishing work area.
They're working on getting the right rear off Chase Stockton's Moose Racing 92, and the tire's certainly flat, but it looks like it's a puncture. It doesn't look like it's shredded, and that's really good for this race team because that's the only thing they'll have to address here. Everything on the right rear corner looks good. The Jacobs ladder, the right rear shock, the radius rod, torsion arm, all that stuff is A-OK on the suspension on the 92 machine as they feverishly go to work on getting this old right rear Hoosier off. They'll bolt the new one on and try to make it back out.
Thank you very much. Good to get a better look at it. Initially looked like the right rear had come apart. As we're able to see, that was not the case. Clock continues to tick, and time is run out. Caution lights go dark. Caution lights are dark. 92 must remain down in the pit area. Again, Moles. Hold them off. Single file through the NOS Energy Star Cam. 2-lap dash to the finish. Jaden right in the tire tracks here, leader. Going to come up and give him a tap and let him know he's there as they work onto the back straightaway. He'll try to peel it down low, side by side to turn number 3. Battle for the lead. White flag coming out this time. Moles gets the right rear wound up on the cushion. He's going to hold on. 1 to go here at Red Hill. As Bachhoven would say, if Jaden Rogers wants it, he's going to have to come and get it. Both drivers launch onto the back straightaway. Mole's going to go to the bottom to protect. Rogers going to stick to the high side. Mole's up across the racetrack. Jaden trying to close. The checkered flag is out, and $6,000 is going to Mitchell Moles here tonight in 19. Jaden Rogers in second. Robert Ballou in third. Kyle Cummins in fourth. Cale Coons in fifth. Justin Grant in sixth. C.J. Leary seventh. Logan Seavey, Briggs Danner, and Hayden Reinbold unofficially rounding out your top 10. 2-lap dash to the finish, and he holds off the charge of Jaden Rogers for his third victory of the 2026 season. He'll bring it to a stop down in victory lane. His third win, his 10th top 5, his 15th top 10. Comes in his 171st career start. The 8th time he's in victory lane, and he's going to go up top to celebrate. In sickness and in health, he's a winner. Mitchell Moles. A little bit of a dive off of the top, lost his balance as the confetti flies. And as Drake described it, pretty much in bed most of the day. And you saw there, shaky at the top of the car, has to be absolutely exhausted. But we mentioned it, sometimes when they don't feel good, that's when they really run. And he proves it here tonight, Christy.
Yeah, and I don't know that there's a way that Jaden Rogers could have made him work harder for that victory than he did in those last few laps. Mitchell Moles comes out on the other side of it, though, puts himself in victory lane for night number 1 of the Illinois Sprint Car Championship here at Red Hill Raceway. Mitchell had to defend against that run out of Jaden Rogers. Clearly exhausted. You've been sick all week. Did you feel like you were better equipped to defend against that under green or on that restart?
Well, I was racing. I probably didn't look like I was sick, but when I did that cage stand there, I definitely looked like my equilibrium was off a little bit. Yeah, I mean, he did a good job, man. He was getting through 1 and 2 a lot better. He tag bumped me on the start, and I knew, okay, he's running up here at least. He's just better than me up here, and I felt like I was better down there than him. So just change it up and, lick the stamp and just try and finish it off for these guys. My guys work so hard, and I've been sick all week. I haven't seen these guys in a couple weeks, or since Knoxville, really. I'm still not feeling 100%. They pretty much did all the work tonight. I didn't do anything other than just drive the thing. So pretty much USAC format, pretty much. I started 6th, I won. So a little different, but we'll get back to the normal format tomorrow, and still paid $6,000. Like I said, I love money, and that's doing well for me. So can't thank Andy, obviously Jacob, Mitchell, the other Mitchell, Bo, Porterhouse, Dylan, of course. He works so hard all week, and Amy Electrical, Rhine Bull Development, Mesa Valley Transportation, Eric at Stanton Engines. I can't thank him enough. Factory Kane, Spike Chassis, High Performance Lubricants, Willwood Brakes, and Smith Titanium. I just can't thank all these partners enough that keep us coming to the racetrack.
I'm going to talk for a second here, let you catch your breath and get a drink. Notice that tricky little run, that line you were running, especially in turns number 1 coming out of 2. Mostly running the top, but then cutting down to the bottom at the very last second coming out of 2. How did that change from when you were passing cars with that line to when you were out front?
It went away fast. I knew pretty much when I cleared Robert, it was damn near done. So then he had to revert back to the top, which it was moving like snow. It was just blowing as fast as it could to get to the wall, and got into the wall there a couple times. So I was just trying not to crash the thing. Nobody wants to crash leading. So I'm sure Jaden, he was giving her all he had, and he wasn't scared to crash one run in second. So good for them. Congrats to them. They're clicking and rolling right now, and just happy to be up front and winning races.
Well, that's Mitchell Moles. He's your winner of night number 1 of the Illinois Sprint Car Championship here at Red Hill Raceway. Puts it in victory lane. A really hard-fought victory between himself and Jaden Rogers, who we'll hear from next.
Yeah, Jaden Rogers ties his season best with a second-place run here, night number 1 of the Illinois Sprint Car Championship. Just debriefing with your dad and crew chief Kyle Rogers, and I know you made a bid for the race lead on that final restart, but you were about to pass Mitchell right before that yellow flag came out. Do you feel like that was maybe your best chance at getting the race lead and maybe the win here tonight at Red Hill?
Yeah, I worked really hard to track him down there. I was about a straightaway behind, and I felt like I was gaining in inches there for a little bit, and then he got to lap cars, and it really helped me reel him in. And yeah, I was really hoping to race the last couple laps. I was being patient, and sometimes being patient doesn't pay the bills because caution came out and we had to restart. But nonetheless, I still had a really, really good race car after the caution, and just had a good race to the win.
Jaden Rogers with a strong second-place result here. He'll try to do one better tomorrow for $10,000 in the Illinois Sprint Car Championship. Let's get it back over to Christy Lear with third place, Robert Ballou.
Robert Ballou led several laps here tonight for night number 1 of the Illinois Sprint Car Championship. Winds up 3rd on the podium. Robert, how tricky did things get in lap traffic?
Not for me. I'm just trying to crawl before I walk and walk before I run. We've pretty much sucked all season, and there's only been a few glimmers of hope. And so I went back to an old notebook from a long time ago when I used to be a hero, and so we're just trying to find our footing, and that's what happens. I have a totally different race car tonight, and it's headed in the right direction, but we just missed it a little bit, and obviously Mitchell's been unbelievably fast for the last month and a half, and obviously they did their homework. And Jaden's really good here. He has more laps here than anybody, and obviously Kyle Rogers is a hero of a mechanic. I've just been beating my head up against the wall for the last 6 months trying to figure out whether I need to go buy a fishing boat or keep throwing darts at a dartboard. So we're headed in the right direction. Hopefully you fans come back and maybe bring a friend. The track promoter here says he's going to put a little more water on the racetrack tomorrow, and we're going to get this place badass. So hopefully tomorrow you guys get your money's worth.
Robert Ballou winds up 3rd on the podium, looking for some glimmers of hope. Perhaps this is one of them. 3rd on the podium for night number 1 of the Illinois Sprint Car Championship at Red Hill Raceway. Over to Drake.
Cale Coons is your Rod End Supply hard charger, 15th to 5th tonight. Cale, not only the Rod End Supply hard charger award, but your first top 5 of the 2026 season. And you and I were talking earlier today about how did these big, fast racetracks suit your style. And it seems like tonight you had a lot of options. What was working best for you throughout the feature event?
Yeah, you know, kind of just have to go where they're not. Early, kind of bottom bobbled up or got clustered up on the bottom into one on the start, so I kind of slid a couple spots actually, and yeah, from there just, you know, take it lap by lap and try and go forwards as much as we can.
Cale told me just a second ago, he says, it feels like I've ran about 1,000 times already this season. So good to see Cale in the top 5 for the first time this season. And by the way, he came into the night as your Parallax Group passing master with 49 cars passed so far in the season. He'll increase that to 59 after tonight. Robert Ballou round out the podium in 3rd, Jaden Rogers in 2nd, and your winner on night number 1 of the Illinois Sprint Car Championship, Mitchell Moles.
Thank you very much. Moles in victory lane, Rogers, Ballou, Cal Cummins in 4th, Cale Coons, your Rod End Supply hard charger in 5th, Justin Grant in 6th, CJ Leary in 7th, Logan Stevie in 8th, Briggs Danner in 9th, and Hayden Reinbold in 10th. JJ Hughes in 11th, Eric Gentry in 12th, Michael Clark in 13th, Troy Carey in 14th, and Steve Thomas in 15th. Colin Jackson was 16th, 17th was Chase Stockin, 18th was David Gasper, 19th Ken Schmidt, and 20th was Kevin Thomas Jr. Charles Davis Jr., Glenn Saville, and Jake Swanson unofficially rounding out your field. As that'll wrap up the USAC portion of tonight's program, where Mitchell Moles is victorious on night number 1 of the Illinois Sprint Car Championship. If you're just making your way out of the grandstands, don't forget tomorrow, cars on track at 6:30. 50-50 tickets, go ahead and pull your ticket out. Pink ticket, 652399. 652399. Go to the merchandise area, $382. Again, 652399 is the winning 50-50. Clear things on the front straightaway. Dirt Car UMP Modifies next for their feature event, 15 times around. B-Mods will get the same number of laps. So 15 laps for the modifieds. Justin Jones out of Olney in the 744 slated for the pole position. Tyler Weiss out of Allendale, Illinois in the 50 lining up next to him. Larry Anderson out of Clay City, Illinois in the 43A. He'll go from 3rd. From 4th, Josh Lindke out of West Salem, Illinois in the 69L. Brandon Justice out of Evansville, Indiana, the 78 will go from 5th. From 6th, Wes Harm out of Carmi, Illinois in the 2X. Derek Patton out of Olney in the 37W from 7th. From 8th, Phil Bible out of Louisville, Illinois in the 51. Evan Bradham out of Olney in the 37. And the 3 of Trevor Jones set to round out your field. Sprint cars and modifieds a part of tomorrow's program. Again, 6:30 Central Time to be exact is when we'll get underway tomorrow. Grew up applying some lines to the racing surface here. Some artwork on the wall so the drivers can tell where the track ends and the wall begins. So send them around one more time. Looks like we should go green when they come off of turn number 4 next time by. It's one of the driver's transponders not picking up, so officials letting them go around one more time, making sure it was not an issue up top. Wes harms the transponder that is not working, so if you're following along on the My Race Pass app, this is why we say it is unofficial. So timing and scoring as well as line scoring going to take place in order to make sure the modifieds are on the correct position as we get underway. Weiss and Jones going to take them onto the back straightaway, but they're spinning around over in turns 1 and 2, so we're going to try this one again. A tale of the 37s coming to a tangle and a stop here. Patton and Bradham getting together over in turns 1 and 2, the 7th and 9th place starters. So the modifieds will modify, and we'll try it again. One car coming to a stop at the back straightaway. I believe they're going to go ahead and bring Harm to a stop, see if they maybe can't get the transponder swapped out on that thing. Never mind. They're going to go ahead and have him get back up in his starting position. Again, if you're just joining us here as the sprint car portion of the program is in the books, we are down to the sheet metal. Dirt car UMP modifieds on track, B mods to follow, 15 laps in both of these feature events, and still working to try to figure out what's going on with the other 37. Derek Patton, the 37W, still sitting over in turn number 2. There, he'll grab a gear. So he'll roll slow, let the field make their way by. Good looking car, especially the way he's done the skirting on that thing. Well, never mind. He's going to go ahead and make the turn down into the infield. Hopefully see him back here tomorrow. Jones and Weiss had a really good start, had a really good battle kind of shaping up there on the opening lap. Try it again. Here we go. And once again, we're going to park one, this time over in turn number 1. Trevor Jones in the 3. So 2 times a dud on getting this one rolling. This time it is the 3 of Jones, it looks like, who has come to a stop. Drop the car out of gear. He'll make his way down the embankment here and get him cleared down into the infield. See if he is maybe able to get that thing rolling and going once again. Put him up side by side once again. So the 3 able to refire. Field going to make their way around. See if we can get these modifieds 2-step in their way to a checkered flag. 2 attempts, no laps. Let's try it again. Jones and Weiss up on row number 1. Once again to the green. Much better start this time for the 50. Goes down, takes the line away, protects the slide through turns 1 and 2, and everybody's going to make it onto the back straightaway. Through turns 3 and 4, do they make it around to complete lap number 1? So far, so good. Do we get it done? Yay! Weiss leading, Jones running in second, Lemke running in third, Anderson and Justice right now running at your top 5. Challenge for the 3rd spot, back straightaway. Here comes the 43. Hello, Mr. Anderson. He's going to work down to the inside as they work onto the front straightaway, wheel to wheel, and at the line, it was Lemke by 2 thousandths. Caution. And I do believe that is strike 2 for the Woods Auto Body number 3. So that should take him off of the racing surface and done for the night. And officials on the receiver letting the driver, the number 3, know, indeed. They'll get him pushed and get him down into the infield. And a flat right rear on the number 3. So the good news, we're 2 in this 15-lap affair. The bad news, we're rolling slow again. So the 50 of Weiss, the 744 Jones, the 69L of Lemke. MRP showing the 69 ahead of the 43, but again, this is why we say it's unofficial. So into the Delaware double file restart. Leader out front by himself, brings him around and back to speed. Weiss again going to take off with the advantage. The 744 Jones running in that second spot. Looking low through turns 3 and 4. High side rolling right now for the 50. Tyler Weiss, Justin Jones, Larry Anderson in the 43, Josh Limke in the 69. Then it's going to be the 2 of Wes Harm. Again, I mentioned earlier, the transponder, the number 2, is not working. So if you're watching MRP live timing and scoring, we go back to it is unofficial. And this is why sometimes the transponders fall off, the batteries die. There's interference, just something every now and then gets in the way. But right now, that number 2 machine being shown in the 5th position. Behind him will be the 78 of Justice, then the 37 of Bradham. Rounding out your running order. Up front, though, he is pulling away. 1.632 seconds right now for Tyler Weiss. Trying to get his 4th win in his last 10 starts. His first win of the season here at Red Hill. We'll see if he can hold on to get it done. His last win, August 30th, 2025. Got a win on August 9th as well, and May 17th of last year. Reporting to victory lane. So far comfortable in this one. Next time around, he'll be at the midpoint. 1.853 seconds between himself and Justin Jones, rather. Larry Anderson still running in that 3rd spot. Later down the front straightaway, 2nd and 3rd, making their way off of turn number 4 right now. The 69 of Limke, and then the 2 of Harm. Doing harm to the cushion on the entrance to turn number 1. Went up and smacked that one up. We got one in the spin cycle. That is the 78 of Justice. Justice around, and it's an injustice to a green flag run. '78 going to get rolling back in the correct direction. If you've ever played Mario Kart and suddenly a banana peel appeared, that's about what it looks like. So Weiss continues to lead. Jones in 2nd. We'll see if they put him up into the Delaware double file. Seven remain. Again, 7 to remain. And here we go. 744 is going to choose the high line on the restart. Anderson goes down to the bottom. Everybody beyond that with no choice. 4th. Must go down to the inside line. Again, that's going to be Harm. Limke rounding at your top 5. We get ready to get back after it. 7 laps remain. Good start for Anderson. Wins the drag race into turn number 1, but can he hold it onto the back straightaway? The 744 Jones is there. Still pedaling hard on the high side. He'll come around to try to retake the 2nd spot. Does he have it? Ooh, it's going to be close at the line. It is a dead tie. MRP showing 0-0-0 between Jones and Anderson for the 2nd spot that time around. See if they can keep this up here. 5 to go this time. Weiss in the 50 now. Jones with about a half a second. Takes over that 2nd spot. Limke, in the meantime, has gotten his way back up into 4th, and Harm is back to 5th. A little bit tall, a little bit wide, a little bit of an open door there. Anderson looked like he was going to get up and take the 2nd spot once again as they're battling, though. Weiss is running 2.020 seconds this time around. Lap number 12 of 15 in the books. Weiss absolutely rolling in this one. The car nice and smooth and even. You don't see it really getting hiked up on the left side. The whole car just kind of raising up, setting back down. About the most we've seen that left rear tuck this entire race. As he'll set her back down, quickly back into the throttle in the meantime. Wave of the white flag, 1 to go for Tyler Weiss in 50. 2 seconds the advantage. He rolls her onto the backside of the racetrack. And through turns 3 and 4, for the first time here in 2026, he'll report to victory lane with the dirt car UMP Modifieds. Tyler Weiss in 50 gets it done. Justin Jones, Larry Anderson, Josh Lemke. And your top 5 going to round out with the 2X of Wes Harm. Close back on May 9th, a DNS on May 30th, and he'll finally get it done here tonight. The driver of the number 50 machine out of Allendale, Illinois. Race fans, give him a hand. Tyler Weiss, your winner here tonight. Well, the Reaper was reaping on the side of that number 50. Crew coming down. They'll meet their driver down in victory lane. And Drake on the restarts. Once he got that thing wound up, nobody even close to keeping pace.
Yeah, Brian, it didn't really matter if it was a short run or a long run because this 50 car just took off way better than the rest of the field on those starts and restarts. He's up out of the race car. Race fans, give him a hand. Tyler Weiss, your winner. We'll drag him over here so our friends at FloRacing and all the good folks watching around the world on Amazon Prime as well get a good look at Tyler. And we were just talking a second ago about the trials and tribulations of your season here when it comes to racing and the modifieds at Red Hill Raceway. Does it feel like the monkey's gotten off your back, so to speak, to finally pick up a win here at Red Hill in 2026?
Man, racing's like riding a roller coaster. It's up. I've been on the highest of highs and the lowest lows in this deal. Just got to thank everybody that helps us out. Now we'll pull down there in the infield and see if we can't get another win tonight. See if we can get my son in victory lane.
That would be something to see here at Red Hill. But for now, he's your winner of the modified feature event. How about it, race fans? One more time for Tyler Weiss.
Thank you very much. B-Mods next on the card. 15 times around for them. 13 cars checking in tonight. Cody Clark in the 20. Slave for the pole position. Everett Bradham out of Olney in the 7J next to him. Jace Weiss in the 50. Going to go from inside of run number 2. Outside of him, Quentin Ayers in the 51 for the 4th starting spot. Randy McNeely in the 5M. Going to go from 5th. From 6th, it will be Kelby Simmons. In the 808, the 5 of Timmy Boldry. From 9th. Or from 7th, rather, from 8th, Johnny Nethery in the 7. 9th, the Tucker Lemke in the 69L, the 18RY of Riker Isaac running at your top 10. Wyatt Kennedy in the 11K, the 95H of Tim Hutton, and the 77 of Bill Lieb. So Everett Bradham, normally in the 37A mod, his son was behind the wheel of that machine tonight. Justin Jones had been in the 7J. Tonight it'll be Everett. Everybody picking up as they made their way across the loop. Cody Clark, Everett Bradham, row number 1. Jace Weiss, Quentin Ayers, row number 2. Randy McNeely, Kelby Simmons, row number 3. Timmy Baldry, Johnny Nethry in row number 4. Tucker Lemke, Riker Isaacson, row number 5. Wyatt Kennedy, Tim Hutton, and Bill Lee. We're ready to go to green 15 times around. Here come the B-Mods. First couple of attempts with the Dirt Car UMP Modifieds. We had to bring them on back and try it again. So far, so good. Back straightaway. We'll see if we can come around and get one in the books. Up at the front of the field, he'll bring him at speed onto the front straightaway. She's a Butte Clark so far. It's Cody Clark in 20. Bradham running in that second spot here as they work onto the far side of the speedway. Challenge going to be for third. Weiss, McNeely, and Ayers all right there, nose to tail, as they worked onto the back straightaway. Weiss holds on to the third spot. Oh, we got one just about into the concrete. Wow, that was the 5M, I believe. McNeely, that car, well, like an old school D&M there for a second, just shot to the right. Brings it back into control, but he lost a couple of spots in the process. He'll fall to the 6th position. Cody Clark, in the meantime, just like he's walking out of the Super 8, he just threw the keys on the counter, and he is gone. Problems for one driver down in the infield. He will clear, and will stay green. 2.567 seconds is the advantage between first and second. Everett Bradham running that second spot. Jace Weiss, Kelby Simmons, Quentin Ayers, your top 5. And the caution doth fall. Got one going the wrong direction in a one-way street here. It's like the 11 of Kennedy. Did an off-ramp, on-ramp move over in turn number 3. Not the game of chicken you want to try here, as we'll get him pointed back in the right direction. Cody Clark leading, that 2.5 second advantage. Poof, gone. Bradham in second. Weiss in third. Simmons, Ayers your top 5. McNeely, Nethry, Baldry, Lemke, and Lieb. Going to be your top 10. Here comes the Delaware double file restart. $7J going to choose the high side, and Weiss drop to the bottom. Four laps in, 15 the distance. Clark looking to clock one here tonight. Brings to the exit to number 4 on the throttle. We're back underway. And this one's going to come on back. We got problems here on the front straightaway, the 18. Got the sideshow to the field here. So Isaacs, a little bit of a rough restart here. We'll bring it back into yellow flag conditions. Cody Clark looking for his second win of the season. In his third podium appearance, he was second back on May 2nd. He was in victory lane on May 30th. He ended out 2025 with a pair of wins on September 27th and August 30th. In his last 10 visits, he's gone to victory lane 6 times. 8 top 5s, 9 top 10s. His average finish right now sits at 2.2. As I see out on the streets, he's good. You're sitting in the stands or watching the broadcast wondering, where's the guy that normally calls the modifieds? He's here, but he is in charge of scoring the modifieds tonight. So you got me instead. Field off at turn number 4. We give it another shot. Looking better down the front straightaway this time into turns 1 and 2. Do we dice it up for the second spot? We do not. Everett Bradham going to continue to hold on to that one. We still running in third for the 4th spot. Ayers took a look at Simmons there for a second. Going to take a look again here as they work onto the far side of the racetrack, the 51. Trying to get up and grab another spot here. So far has been able to get close, but not quite. Oh my, the driver running in third just got her up over the cushion. He went up and grazed the concrete a little bit. Wiping the grin off of the Reaper's face on the right side of that machine. Takes it down low and way too hard across the racetrack. And he just found out that the right front suspension does not survive against concrete. Boy, he tried to drive her up across the racetrack and get her pinched. Unfortunately, didn't get her pinched hard enough and ran her straight into the wall. Seven laps completed. Yeah, that right front's pointed a little bit in the wrong direction here. When he turns her left, it's responding, but she's definitely bent. Yeah, better be safe than sorry. Going to go ahead and make that turn down into the infield. Took the break, had a good run going, just trying to get off a little bit more than he could chew. Crews at the ready, sticks in hand, letting their drivers know just how far away their competition is. Clark, Bradham, Simmons, Ayers, McNeely, your top 5. Nethry, Lemke, Boldry, Kennedy, and Lieb, your top 10. Into the Delaware restart we go. Tighten him up into 3 and set him loose to the exit to number 4. Back at it. A little bit of problems for one driver on the restart. Slow into turns 1 and 2. It looks like the 77 of Lieb. He's got issues on the back straightaway. Looks like he's going to turn it down and maybe make it to the infield. Challenge in the meantime for the 3rd spot. Ayers coming after Simmons once again. So far, the advantage to the 808. Takes her up top shelf over in turns 3 and 4. 51 still working down to the bottom. New challenger into the mix. It's going to be the 5M. McNeely had been up in the 4th spot the opening couple of laps. A little bit of a bobble and a snafu. Dropped him back to the 6th spot now. Trying to pick. Oh my, why does I say that? The snafu returns. And this time it was all up in the outside wall. Starting to say it had a little bit of an issue earlier, dropped back a little bit, was starting to pick his way back forward. And unfortunately, something going all kinds of wrong and sailing him up into the wall. Trying to get a look at what happened here. We'll have a replay on the FloRacing broadcast. It's a good battle going in, top side. Man, that car just suddenly just turns right on him. Slow it down here. Looks like he did have the wheels cranked to the left. Yeah, he did, but she just kept on moving. Have to wonder, the way the car went in, had it turned, was trying to get it wound up, and it just took off if maybe the throttle didn't stick. Nevertheless, a tough break and a lot of damage. So they'll work on getting the things hooked up and cleared out over in turn number 4. Again, tough break for the 5M. Randy McNeely. Officials up at the tower noticing one driver. Looks like he might be motioning to something, so he's going to get instructed to stop at the front straightaway, and officials are going to go up and see what's going on. Looks like officials doing a quick check over in turns 3 and 4. 5 remain with the B mods. Set to get back after it. 5-lap dash to the finish for the B-Mods. Here we go. Cody Clark again taking back off with it. Bradham and Simmons duking it out for that second spot. Down low goes the 7, up high goes the 808. Still wheel to wheel for the second spot. One lap it's the 808, the next lap it's the 7. Coming around Bradham again. Retakes a second spot. Cheerleader, nearly 3 seconds. Going to come around to the wave of the white flag. 1 to go for Cody Clark. Last visit to Red Hill resulted in victory, and tonight he's going to back it up through turns 3 and 4. Checkered flag going to drop for the second time this season. Cody Clark wins in 20. Everett Bradham in second. Kelby Simmons in third. Johnny Nethry in fourth. And Quentin Ayers, your top 5 unofficially. He's going to improve that average finish just a little bit more. His 7th win since May 25th, 2024. His 9th top 5, his 10th top 10, and his 2nd win on the season. The driver in 20. Brings it to a stop at the front straightaway. Race fans, give him a hand. Cody Clark, your winner with the B-Mods. Quick chat with the crew here. And Drake, he left no question on that one.
And there he is, popping out of the race car. Give him a hand, race fans. Brian, to expand on what you were saying there for Cody Clark, he left no stone unturned here at Red Hill Raceway this evening. We'll get him around to the other side of the car so we can get a great shot of him here on FloRacing as he picks up the win here this evening. And Cody, it didn't matter if we had long green flag runs, short green flag runs. The 20 was just on rails tonight. Just talk about how fast this car was, especially off the line here in restarts.
Yeah, first of all, shout out to the Red Hill track crew here. They got this track pretty racy right now. So, no, thanks to my guys here, Delvin and Derek. We got this thing dialed in pretty good. That Mullins race engine was on point, lethal chassis. Thanks to all my product sponsors. Everybody helps out on this thing. It's fun to drive right now for sure.
It sure looked fun to drive out front. How about it, race fans? One more time for Cody Clark.
As that'll wrap up tonight's program here at Red Hill. Don't forget, tomorrow cars on track for hot laps at 6:30 Central. If you can't be here live, you can see it all on FloRacing. On behalf of everybody here at Red Hill, the United States Auto Club, and the entire crew of Studio 56, my name is Brian Holbert saying good night, good luck, and God bless.